Today, a U.S. House panel has subpoenaed Bill and Hillary Clinton for Epstein testimony. Now, the House Oversight Committee has also issued subpoenas to several former attorneys general and FBI directors, so we'll get into that. Elon Musk and Donald Trump both have called for federalizing the police in Washington, D.C. after a member of the Doge team was beaten up for defending a young woman who was being assaulted by a group of young men. So we'll get into that. AG Paxton from Texas has asked a judge to vacate seats of Democratic lawmakers who fled the state over the redistricting vote. If you remember, we covered this a little bit last night, so there's some development in that. There's some breaking news about Senator Adam Schiff, who's under criminal investigation now for mortgage fraud, so we'll discuss that. Jim Acosta is still a piece of garbage, and everyone is aware of it. We'll tell you why. Michael Rapaport is having problems in Alabama. One of his shows was canceled, so we'll discuss that a little bit. But before we do, head on over to boonies.com and buy our brand new skate deck, Uncancelable. It's got the old... It's not really the Iron Cross, but people got offended, and so they stopped using it, and Tim said, well, I'm going to buy that, and he's made it his own now. You can also head on over to castbrew.com, buy some coffee. There's the 1776 Signature Blend Josie's Special Brew is available. There is the 2 weeks till Christmas, which has got me dressed up like Santa Claus, I guess. Ian's Graphene Dream is available for K-Cups and for regular ones. Appalachian Nights is still the big seller, so head on over there and buy some of that. You also want to head to timcast.com and join our Discord so you can join us in the after show. Well, you can join the Discord so you can call in the after show, and head on over to rumble.com so that way you can join the after show and watch the after show on rumble.com. So we're going to go ahead and talk about all these things and more, but we want you to smash the like button, share the show with your friends, and with us to talk about all this stuff is Dave Landau.
Hey, how are you?
Hello, Dave. Who are you and what do you do?
I'm a comedian. I
buy it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You can check me out, davelandau.com. Also, if you want to, you can go to blazeunlimited.com. You can use code Dave20. You get Frontier Magazine, which is out now. Also, check out my book, Party of One, a fuzzy memoir on Amazon.com.
Awesome. Thank you for coming and joining.
Yes, I'm excited to talk about a lot of things coming.
Tate is here.
I'm here, yeah. The producer, Tate Brown. Sorry, I've done a lot of introductions today.
Busy today, right?
Busy, yeah. It's wild.
At the morning show, and then you were over at PCC.
Oh, yeah. The wage cage, as they call it.
That's right.
I love it. It's fun, so it's good to see everyone again. Excited to be here.
Elaad is here.
Good evening, everybody. I am Elaad Eliyahu, the White House correspondent here at Timcast. Let's get into the news.
Our resident illegal wrestler, right?
Resident in a lot of things, but...
You got a good mustache.
Thank you. I
actually...
I thought it was a little bit too short, and I've been a little bit self-conscious about its
You
length.
shouldn't be.
Good.
You keep it.
It's very Bolton-esque.
I like it.
Call it.
No, I had one for years.
Did you?
I'm thinking about regrowing it, so I was looking at it a little jealous.
I think you should.
I'm going to regrow it, I think.
I'm actually bringing the full beard back, I think, for the fall. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
As a half Italian, somebody was just talking about Dago culture.
Can you believe the vulgarity?
So we were talking about the Rizzler.
Yeah.
And how he's bringing it back.
He's bringing it back.
As a 9-year-old boy. Bringing back the Sopranos.
Great,
a lot of pressure
news.
on his little chubby shoulders.
If anyone can do it, the Rizzler can.
Yeah,
he can. 3 cell phones, that kid.
That's right. All right, so from The Guardian, U.S. House panel subpoenas Bill and Hillary Clinton for Epstein testimony. House Oversight Committee also issued subpoenas to several former attorneys general and FBI directors. The House Oversight Committee on Tuesday issued subpoenas to Bill and Hillary Clinton, as well as several former attorneys general and directors of the FBI, demanding testimony related to horrific crimes perpetrated by Jeffrey Epstein. The investigative committee's Republican chair, James Comer, sent the subpoenas in response to 2 motions lawmakers approved on a bipartisan basis last month. As Congress navigated outrage among Donald Trump supporters over the Justice Department's announcement that it would not release further details about Epstein, a disgraced financier who died in 2019 while awaiting trial for sex trafficking.
Died.
Yeah. Allegedly. The subpoenas raised the possibility that more details will become public about Trump's relationship with Epstein, which stretched for years but appeared to have petered out by the time Epstein was convicted of sexually abusing girls in 2008. Last month, the Wall Street Journal reported on the existence of sexually suggestive sketch and lewd letters Trump sent to Epstein as a 50th birthday gift in 2003. Does this seem like it's going anywhere, gentlemen?
Well, we all have wonderful secrets.
Very wonderful.
I think, honestly,
Special secrets,
if
right?
Bill has to take, what's he going to say under oath? I mean, he's lied under oath before about similar things.
Yeah.
Except it was a legal of age husky intern. But this time...
Who's actually aged very well. Have you seen recent pictures
Yeah,
of her?
she's gotten better with age.
She looks great, yeah.
She's like a fine wine.
Good on you, Monica Lewinsky.
Yeah, good on her.
Lewinsky.
Not on, the opposite of right.
when the on you came out, I was like, oh, we got a joke here.
Yes, yeah, all over her. She is but
dress.
I mean, if they have to actually pull out phone records or some kind of records that he has to be honest about, there's no doubt he's on the list. The only thing that would shock anybody is if he wasn't.
Right.
Even his own wife would be like, "Wow, really? You weren't?" Everyone knows he is, right?
Hillary would be like, I feel bad for hitting you all those times.
I know, right? Like I thought it was just the one girl. Wow, we're all amazed.
But I mean, I don't imagine that Bill and Hillary Clinton are going to reveal any information that isn't already known.
No, we all know he likes to have sex with people that aren't his wife. I mean, but in fairness, have you seen his wife?
I wouldn't want to have sex with his wife.
No, no one would. I don't think any would. Look at the big Maxwell House cankles.
I don't think I'm doing myself any favors here, but I will say, back in the day, Hillary Clinton was not the worst looking woman.
You're not doing yourself any
You're
favor.
saying when she was Epstein Island age?
No,
Back in
there was this one
back in
photo of her
grammar
in
school?
college. Yeah, back in the day. So,
Oh no, you're right. Her college photos are pretty good.
Is she kind of?
you know which one I'm talking about?
I do. She's
Kind of a hear me
she's
out.
on the lawn,
With
right?
the glasses?
Yep.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
hear me
Serge,
out.
can you pull that up?
Yeah.
Pull it up, please.
You're not
Pull up
wrong.
hot Hillary Clinton, please.
Serge, come on.
Disavow.
Yeah, there's probably not a lot of hot Hillary Clinton. There's probably just the one. Google's going to show you one picture. Or it's just her in hell.
Yeah.
Come on, Serge, pull it up. I'm telling you, there
Yeah,
was a
just
time where
go ahead and-
she looked relatively good.
Google hot Hillary Clinton and see what comes up.
Put moderately attractive Hillary.
I hate when people pretend that there are no hot liberal women. I hate that.
Oh, there's hot
I
liberals.
hate that.
Yes.
There's many hot
There's at least
liberal
like
women.
12.
Of course. We thought Sydney
Oh,
Sweeney.
yeah, black
to
and
the-
white. I don't recall it being black and white. No, to the right, that one. Yeah, that one.
That's
And then-
more-
That's
that-
a little bit older, but the one to the right was.
Okay, you don't have to pull the Time article.
Oh no, keep
No,
scroll
no,
down.
that
scroll
looks
down.
like she's
Keep
just
scrolling.
poisoned
I was
you in a
talking
horror
college.
movie.
Yeah.
Golly.
She looks like an extra from
This isn't the
Psycho.
one with the
Yeah,
glasses.
you know,
I
like
don't
she-
like it.
Bill, we're supposed to go to the
It was the
island.
one beside this on the
We're
group.
gonna miss our flight, Bill.
Sorry, Hill.
I like women, but I can't tell people in this time.
Hill, I
See,
swear she
to that point, I thought that after the Bill and Monica Lewinsky thing, I thought she swore off men. I kind of got that vibe. I don't know.
I thought she swore off men before it.
That's why.
Yeah.
She
Monica.
swore off
Okay, fair
of
enough.
age
You
members.
can't own that many suits and be into men.
Pantsuits are, you
Yeah.
know, okay. They're like the Subaru for the ultra
They
wealthy.
certainly are.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, her and her staff have always had a lot of trouble with men. Huma Abedin also went through, who was it? Anthony Weiner
Yeah.
and that
Yes.
whole affair.
And now Huma Abedin is with Soros.
Soros
and he's not
Jr.,
a man.
Alex Soros, and
not a man at
are
all.
probably power players, frankly, in the Democrat Party.
And we all know Anthony.
Obviously.
Yeah,
Anthony
they're-
Weiner loves adult women. We all know that.
You know, you could blame Anthony Weiner for helping to contribute to Trump's first election win
Absolutely.
because he something with his emails or the case was reopened into him because of some more allegations that came out against him. I'd need to review the exact story, but he helped give more credence and evidence or give more reason to investigate further into the email scandal. Didn't do her any favors, so.
No.
No.
But I mean, so anyways, back to the Epstein stuff. I don't see how Bill and Hillary Clinton are going to make a difference. I certainly am not going to trust anything Bill Clinton
It's
says.
the hot picture. It's not working.
No, that's definitely not the hot. But
It's like John Larroquette.
but if they don't list who the attorneys general and FBI directors are, but that might actually produce something that's worth discussing.
Yeah, evidently this Epstein guy had some sex trafficking going on.
Yeah, apparently, yeah.
Who do you think is the most hilarious photo taken on Epstein Island so far that has been leaked?
The
Stephen Hawking, right?
I haven't seen the Stephen Hawking.
Oh, look it up. Stephen Hawking on Epstein Island is hilarious.
That
There's
sounds
like
like
two
You look up-
girls holding daiquiris. Clearly, he's not drinking them. That guy can't swallow. He talks with his blinks. It's so funny.
Bring me another drink.
Yeah, I'm thirsty.
images.
You look up hot Stephen Hawking?
I
No,
finished with
he was
Elaad.
Also, back in the day.
Where is it? Where is it?
Yeah, there's got.
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
There
Look
it
at him.
is.
He's having the time of his
Over on
life.
the top left, right there.
Look at that.
Yeah, he is having the
He's
time
on
of his
autopilot.
I mean, I don't think he went to the island. I think he was brought.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Look, here's the thing, though. Back in the day, if you were anybody, you got the invite to hang out with Jeffrey Epstein and this cool little billionaires club with Donald Trump, Bill Clinton, Prince Andrew, Stephen Hawking.
Yeah.
The FOMO had to be crazy.
Kevin Spacey, who
Bill-
got there and was like, there's not even any male waiters. That's why he went.
He's like, I'm going home.
He just like turned this plane around.
You know, I hear nothing's sticking to that guy.
Yeah, not a thing.
Oh yeah, nothing. I'm nothing.
At least none of the cases.
No, no.
Kevin, we'll find her some hot
But I love that he's like, I want the list to come out. It's like, of course you do. 'Cause there wasn't.
all underage girls there.
Yeah.
What do you care?
It's not a little boy island, Kevin. Nobody thinks you're guilty.
If there was like a Disney World list, then he'd be in trouble.
Yeah. If there was a Hollywood list,
Yeah, right.
if there was just a Haley Joel Osment lookalike list.
How many young men have you taken to Disneyland after a long day on set?
I have no idea if it's true, but there's a story of him and Liam Neeson.
Oh,
and there
really?
was like a kid on the set, and he's like, "Yeah, we can go back up to my room and study lines." And Kevin Spacey goes to the bathroom, and immediately Liam Neeson's like, "Don't go up to his room. Whatever you do, don't do it."
Oh yeah, I mean, you want to like Liam Neeson, don't you? Like,
Yeah.
you kind of want. You're like, man, I hope he's a good guy.
I haven't
And
got the role in Taken.
Yeah, actually, the director overheard him saying, he's like, that's the guy.
His method acting.
You know, he is in his 50s, but he just saved that kid. I think he could be an action star.
I agree. Yeah. So, I don't think there's a whole lot more to say about the whole Epstein stuff.
But I think he's right. If you were anybody, Chris Tucker we saw on the plane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I never actually looked into the list, but I'm aware that there was like a lot of power players and if you were anybody, it was thought of like, you want to go be around those people, which is part of the reason why I think that there's a lot of people in positions of power that don't want the list to come out, because back then no one knew what Epstein was up to, or ostensibly no one knew what Epstein was up to, and they were like, well, I want to go hang out with those people. And if you're in that kind of, I guess if your bank account is that big, those people tend to just hang out with each other and be around each other, because that's the thing to do. So there's a lot of people that are just like, oh, I don't want this to come out because it's going to implicate me, and people automatically assume, oh, you were on the list, or you went to the island, so you automatically must have done nefarious things. And while it's not great to be in his company, especially nowadays, to look back, it's like, it makes sense for people that if they didn't do anything to be, Dershowitz is one that's like,
Yes.
whether or not he actually did.
Yeah,
Excuse me, sorry.
he's like, I'm just the lawyer for the pet.
Yeah, exactly. and that's Dershowitz's MO. He's like, who's the scummiest guy? I'm gonna find him and defend him. And I guess if you do that, people are going to assume things about you.
Sure.
So you get used to it.
Yeah. Well, and it's also, you're going to get flight logs. You're not going to get like what they liked.
Yeah.
You know what
it's
I
not
mean?
like you're not getting a menu.
Yeah. You're not going to get
Ratings.
Yeah. You're not going to get Janet 13 with Bill Clinton broom closet at 4.
It's not like Yelp reviews. Or
Yeah. 2 stars. She didn't even pretend she liked it. Yeah, there's nothing you're going to get like, yeah. So it's, no matter what comes out, it's always going to be an assumption, right?
Apparently not. All right. So, I mean, I don't really have a whole lot else to add to the Epstein story. So why don't we move on to this next story here? Washington, D.C. apparently is a nightmare. Donald Trump tweeted the other day, I believe this was today. Crime in Washington, D.C. is totally out of control. Local youths and gang members, some only 14, 15, and 16 years old, are randomly attacking, mugging, maiming, and shooting innocent citizens at the same time, knowing that they will be almost immediately released. They're not afraid of law enforcement because they know nothing ever happens to them, but it's going to happen now. The law in D.C. must be changed to prosecute these minors as adults and lock them up for a long time, starting at age 14. The most recent victim was beaten mercilessly by local thugs. Washington, D.C. must be safe, clean, and beautiful for all Americans, and importantly, for the world to see. If D.C. doesn't get its act together, and quickly, we will have no choice but to take federal control of the city and run this city how it should be run, and put criminals on notice that they're not going to get away with it anymore. Perhaps it should have been done a long time ago. Then this incredible young man and so many others would not have had to go through the horrors of violent crime. If this continues, I'm going to exert my powers and federalize the city, make America great again. And then Elon Musk retweeted Donald Trump's truth. A few days ago, a gang of about a dozen young men tried to assault a woman in her car at night in D.C. A Doge team member saw what was happening, ran to defend her, and was severely beaten to the point of concussion, but saved her life. It's time to federalize D.C. Look, everyone knows that D.C. has been an absolute madhouse when it comes to crime for a long time. You can go to certain areas and you're pretty safe, but that's because those places are where Congress people are frequenting, where staff are frequenting. But if you go just a couple blocks the wrong direction, you're likely to get beaten or mugged or whatever. Mm-hmm. I don't know that federalizing is actually the proper role, but if the municipality won't handle it, maybe the federal government should step in.
Yeah, you don't want Paul Pelosi to get another head hammer.
That happened in San Francisco, but still.
Yeah, well, I mean, he goes into the wrong neighborhoods for different things.
He does.
Usually, but it's not gay sex. What? Too much?
No, not at all. No, I mean,
I'm just making assumptions, of course.
Of course.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think the man.
But there's nothing wrong with pontificating. There's
No,
nothing wrong
I'm
with it at all.
simply guessing that a man would buy a male escort off of a school bus. Yeah, this sounds horrible. I am from Detroit.
Oh,
Yeah, so I can't imagine these kind of crimes.
this is
happening.
light work.
Yeah, in a major city. I don't know if federalizing it's a very good idea, to be honest. I also don't think prosecuting all minors as adults as first-time offenders is a very good idea either, if I'm being honest.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, but right now the MO is the young kids are the ones that are sent out to do the crime because the older gangbangers know that they don't get treated like adults.
If it's killing, they should extend the sentence, but I don't think that it's something that should just be... I understand, like, the cusp of 17, a lot of them are doing that, and then they're also bragging in court that they're not going to get in trouble for it. So I think they should extend the sentence, obviously, but I do not think that giving them no chance at all at the age of 14 is wise either.
Okay.
Just personal opinion.
What do you think, Elaad? You're fairly, the law is the law kind of dude.
So, me, Serge, and Tate actually witnessed these YNs firsthand the other weekend in Washington, D.C., and it's actually extremely odd. It's a group of, 20, 30 some odd very young kids. Like, you could tell in their faces, nobody's probably above the age of 17, as young as maybe even 13 and 14, being followed by 3 or 4 different cop cars, and they're just running around the streets, throwing things and yelling. I guess some groups may be more aggressive than others. Obviously, assaulting somebody's messed up, and you should go to jail as a result of that. But again, I don't know. At the age of 14, might be a little bit young to be trying to charge people as adults. And I haven't heard as many of the cases of them murdering people, but if you murder somebody, I think you should be charged as an adult for that crime in particular.
I don't know what the murder rate is in D.C., but I know there was a time recently in the past 10 or so years where D.C. was the murder capital of the United States.
You darn tootin'.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is 190. Oh,
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah. Well, and the problem with crime in cities like DC and New York and Boston as well is the tolerance for crime is far lower because it's a very walkable city. So you're actually interacting with these points where crime will occur a lot more.
The tolerance for crime is lower?
Yeah. So if you live in like Memphis or Detroit, the tolerance for crime is much higher because you can just drive past it on your way to work and back to your house. You're not actually
your suburbs,
interacting
okay,
with the criminal aspect as much. But yeah, if you're somewhere like DC, you have to walk down the street, you have to take the subway, you have to do this, that, and the other. So your actual sense of crime, even though because leftists will always be like, well, if you compare it to like Jackson, Mississippi, and it's like, well, yeah, but in Jackson, you don't ever see it. You're just going to Kroger and back. Where in D.C., you're walking around, you're going to bars, you're taking the train.
Yeah.
So you're going to interact with it a lot more, and it's much more unacceptable for a high amount of crime.
I would be remiss if I didn't bring up the fact that the Second Amendment is basically non-existent in Washington, D.C. So restoration of the rights of the American people might be a deterrent to criminals in the district, but I know that the members of Congress and the support staff around them are generally not particularly fond of that idea. But
See, I think that's where the Ted Nugent rule comes in. Just have the Second Amendment and don't listen to the state.
I personally agree with that as well.
Yeah, I think you should just be allowed to carry a firearm to protect yourself. I'm not going to say that's what I do.
No.
Maybe. They took it from me before I got on the plane today. But they didn't take my wooden one. And I learned that from John Malkovich. And in the line of fire, you just make a wooden one.
Yeah. And
Get
then,
into any stadium.
all right.
These are facts.
So I feel like for the past, 40, 50 years in our country, we have been seeing groups of quote unquote youth, which is a funny euphemism to
Yes.
use here. I think we all know exactly what we're talking about, but we need to use this stupid
Young
euphemism.
people.
We're talking
Youth,
about like
teens.
black teens. We're talking about black teens running around usually in cities and committing different types of crimes. I think we saw in Cincinnati the other weekend where they were like just random adults assaulted. Maybe they might have yelled at each other, but it resulted in multiple different assaults. And it's interesting when we choose to pay more attention to them. And what we're going to do about that, is up to the government, and we'll see. But
Well, I mean-
I feel like these are always happening in the background. Every so often, and sometimes it's only a local news story, and then sometimes the president decides to truth social about it and make it a national news story. But like these assaults are happening throughout our country all the time, and it's just interesting when we decide to make it national news instead of
What do you think
local news.
the factor is? What do you
Jazz.
think it is that makes it?
Crime, socioeconomic factors.
What
it's a big
is it? What is
conversation.
the thing that makes it become a national story?
Well, sometimes it's just so shocking you can't deny it.
Well, the media.
Yeah.
That's who it is. That's what decides. Literally only the media, and like if the races were portrayed in the right way for most of the media to decide to pick it up and like put it up the chain of command, then that's what goes. And it's a national news story because the president decided to talk about it now, and it's going to go as far as,
For this one, yeah, but when it comes to the one that you mentioned in Cincinnati, that was trying to be. It
became a national news story.
That one. That was actually, it was a fairly grassroots kind of thing because the media and the municipality was trying to suppress the story. They didn't want it to get out. They didn't want to
Didn't
talk.
a white guy, though, knock out the woman?
I don't know.
I believe a white guy did knock out the woman, but then black people were piling on and kicking the guy at the
I
jazz
think he
festival.
shoved her. I think he shoved her, yeah.
Yeah, but then black people were also pulling people off of, the guy. Like, it was a group thing where a lot of people were involved. So depending on what site you were watching, it was white versus black, but then there was the reality of a lot of people were trying to help and a lot of people weren't.
wasn't it allegedly because somebody called another person the Ensler?
Supposedly, but I don't even know if that's what it was.
Yeah, I've heard people make that argument, but I believe if you watch the video, the attack had initiated, and then the dreaded N slur was uttered.
Not that name calling should justify violence.
Absolutely not. I think that's the most ridiculous argument that people make is, oh well, they had it coming, or the idea that like, well, there are consequences for things you say. I mean, sure, but jail is a consequence for that kind of
Yeah.
thing.
I get told that often.
If you're in a heated argument with someone, it's best probably not to use it at a jazz festival. Yeah. I've always said that. If you're at a Wu-Tang concert, let's say, and someone's angry at you, perhaps you don't yell that at them.
Yeah,
because there will be a consequence.
Yeah, I do.
And I'm not
think so.
saying that you can argue that it's right or wrong and that someone's not allowed, but you will get your ass kicked, for lack of a better term. And I'm not saying that what happened to her was horrible. What happened to that guy was horrible. But to just go, okay, it was they want that to be the division. That's my problem with it all. They want them to go, okay, it was black versus white. That's not the case. It was different people going at each other, and other people were helping other people.
Well, you recognize that this story likely only got so much gasoline into it because of the racial projection onto the story.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But also, like with this DC story specifically, it's like I hate to be that guy, but if the roles were reversed, if there was like a mob of 50 white teens and they beat up a black guy, I mean, we'd be in camps right now. Like it would be over.
That just doesn't happen.
Exactly. You know? So it's like
no matter how hard I train them.
Also, this did we mention it's because it happened to an alleged Doge employee, and I don't know if
Happened
we
to Big
could pull
Balls.
up- Big Balls.
Big Balls, yeah.
Tate.
Is that him?
Tell me
right
more
there?
about this guy.
Big Balls.
That's
For people who
alleged
just
to be.
have no
I don't think we're going to share the picture because we don't have confirmation of who it is.
Oh, I got you. That's
But
a
it's from the
rough
rapid
photo.
response.
Well, I mean,
all right.
yeah.
There's other people. Allegedly, it's Big Balls. He was a big player.
And
in
who
the
is-
If you want to look, I mean, just go to X and look for the story, and there's plenty of pictures, and there's comparisons of who Big Balls, what Big Balls looked like when he was,
Yeah. Be careful going on X and typing in big balls, but I'm pretty sure you'll find it.
Yeah. Just go to Google and type in Big Balls.
yeah, or Lemon Party.
Yeah,
No,
either
don't do
one.
that. Don't do that at all.
Go to X Hamster.
Bloodied Big Balls.
Some bloody
He's bloodied up.
Yeah, he's hurt. So
Black teens rough up Big Balls.
black and blue Big Balls.
Black teens rough up Big Balls. You shouldn't Google any of these things.
No, but unless
Do
you
it on your
want.
work computer. Actually.
Yeah, for sure. Just put black big balls on your work computer.
Angry, violent black people attack Big Balls.
Do it during a presentation
library.
tomorrow. Yeah, at a library. Full volume.
Perfect. This sounds great. This will do wonderful things.
I love the news.
All right. So, I'm not even sure how we got to this. We were talking about the attack.
The
All right.
truth
So
from the
we need to
president.
talk about. We're going to go ahead and change to this story from the Post Millennial. Texas AG Ken Paxton to ask judge to vacate seats of Dem lawmakers who fled state over redistricting vote. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton will seek judicial orders to remove Texas state legislators who have fled the state in an attempt to block a congressional redistricting vote taking place in the state legislature. The lawmakers have until August 8th to return to the state and to perform their duties in the legislature before Paxton requests the order. Attorney General Ken Paxton has announced that the continued refusal to perform legislative duties by Texas House Democrats who broke quorum constitutes abandonment of office and that he will pursue a court ruling ensuring that their seats are declared vacant. Speaker of the House Dustin Burrows has given members until Friday, August 8th, to return to Texas and present themselves before the House. Any lawmaker who has not been arrested and returned or fails to appear by the Speaker's deadline will be subject to aggressive legal action by Attorney General Paxton, a news release from Paxton's office says. So I learned that apparently this is actually felonious. So these are felony. They could face felony charges for vacating and preventing the continuation of official business.
Was that true? I read that there was just a fine. It's a
Is
felony.
it a fine? So they could end up in
500 a
jail
day.
with some teens.
Hopefully not.
I don't suspect that's what's going to happen, but I think the crux of the issue here is whether or not gerrymandering is kosher. Dave, gerrymandering, cool or not?
It's the norm since the fourth president of the United States.
I'm gonna say that they should. Yeah, I think they should have to come back and face it.
Yeah, I mean they should have to come back and actually do their jobs.
I agree.
The question as to whether or not gerrymandering is acceptable. This is just the state of affairs today, and it's been that way since James Madison.
Right.
His vice president was Vice President Jerry,
Sure, but-
and the name gerrymandering comes from that. So
Yeah.
whether or not it's okay, I don't know. I think that's kind of
It doesn't even matter.
No, it does matter, and I'll tell you why. It's because not all of the states are fully gerrymandered, and Democrats have actually put different guardrails in place to not allow them to gerrymander certain states. So Tate, I know you're from New York, but you might not know much about the politics there. But in New York, right, the Democrats did want to gerrymander, but their maps got tossed out by the courts there because they had certain laws that didn't allow them to gerrymander to the nth degree. Eventually, gerrymandering is bad for our country. the big brain solution here is obviously having somebody non-biased and impartial on top, kind of ruling top down, trying to make as many fair districts and rub the least amount of people the wrong way. But I don't know if we just see this, both sides are just going to try to gerrymander their districts more and more aggressively. Both sides are obviously guilty of this. So I don't know really where that's going to leave us. The Democrats here are just trying their best to prevent it. If this is a Band-Aid solution for them, these Texas Democrats aren't going to be able to achieve actually preventing the Republicans from gerrymandering Texas. It's only a matter of time. So
Right.
Well, even with like these commissions like you're talking about, or like in California, they can just special election around it if they really want to.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, it's nice that it's put into place, but if push really came to shove, New York, California, they'll just circumvent it.
And honestly,
special election.
if you were to say, okay, gerrymandering is illegal, what's the solution? How do you break up the districts then?
There are different people with different theories on how to do this without having squiggly lines that go in circles. Like, I don't think that's the problem. I think it's the political will to do so, which neither side is going to see. And like, it's escalating, right? One side's doing it, then the other side's going to want to do it more, and then they're going to both point fingers at one another.
Part of the reason that the Democrats are having such a problem with this is because the Democrats have kind of like squeezed all the juice, right? Like, there's not a whole lot more they can do.
There's juice
There
in
are
New York.
multiple.
Yes, there is. Yeah.
How many
Jews?
How,
A ton.
how many?
Second largest Jews population.
We're not talking about
from,
Jews. We're talking about Jews
outside of Israel. Oh,
We're talking about they've gotten all of the made all of the gerrymandering they can do. They're not going
there's
to
a
get.
lot
I
of-
thought they squeezed.
There's a lot of Jews there, though.
Yeah,
There are a lot.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
squeezing more.
No, yeah, I love Jews.
So like some state like Massachusetts,
no,
there's something
Jewish.
like 40% of the state
You should've let it,
is conservative, and there's zero representatives. There's zero representation for the conservatives, and that's a situation in the same situation in Illinois. There's 40% of the state is Republican, and there's no representation at all.
It's 14-3, and it's a 6-point spread in Illinois.
But if you have each
Crazy.
state
It's
that's
insane.
blue or red taking legal action on each one, wouldn't that just affect the other state to want to do it more?
But that
I mean, that's
Escalation.
I think
That's
that's,
the-
the
what's
problem.
happening.
That was the point that I was making.
Yeah.
The reason the Democrats have a problem is because there's not much more they can do.
Right.
They don't have the ability to actually gerrymander and get more representation out of most states. There's nothing left they can do. They've really maximized the gerrymandering that's possible. So the reason that they have such a problem with this is because they don't have the ability to just fight back and say, well, gerrymander and et cetera. There's talk of it in New York. There's talk of it in California, but there isn't a lot that's actually possible for them to do. They can do a little bit around the edges, but they're not going to get the same kind of effects that the Republicans could get because the Democrats have been so successful at gerrymandering nationwide. So it's like, sure, there are places where they can get some, but the Republicans actually stand to benefit the most by doing things like redistricting halfway through the time limit they normally do it, because it's normally done after every census, so it's normally done after every 10 years. This is halfway through. There is an argument, we had a guest on last night that was talking about this, there is an argument that it's a good thing to do because of all the demographic changes, because of all of the illegal immigrants that have come in, but also because of all the people that have moved from California to other states, to Texas, to Florida and stuff. So Texas is doing it. A big part of the reason is because of the illegal immigration and because of the influx.
Texas?
Yes, it's been known to happen. Shocker,
Really?
right?
I live there. I've not seen it, but go on.
Okay. But yeah, so that's the argument that they're making is,
Yeah.
this is why it's a legitimate
Sure. No, I get that.
effort. So
And the way they gerrymandered the new seats in Texas was such that all the districts were now roughly Trump 60, a district where Trump won 60% of the vote. So like the Congress people would usually disagree with gerrymandering because they don't want their districts fudged with where they run and they don't want to be diluted, but that's how they kind of appease the Texas Republicans. I suspect Democrats will do something, call me a genius, I don't know, but I suspect Democrats down the line will try to do something similar to this that Republicans may not like, but this is power politics. And, I think we're seeing more quote unquote norms being broken. Trump's a big norm breaker. There are other political power plays that people could do, like packing the Supreme Court. Trump doesn't need to. The Democrats had a few other plays like this. Gerrymandering's another example, but We're going to see more norms being broken. Where that takes us, we'll see.
I mean, I agree with you. I think that.
Yeah, I think there's not a lot of room for Dems to go legally, but that's the problem, is how hard we want them to push back eventually. I don't know. That's a very good.
They're going to say, "Oh, Trump changed the districts ahead of the census," and that's how he's doing this to defend his majority too. He doesn't want to be in the minority for the second half of his presidential term. He would definitely be impeached because of who gives a crap, something, and then all the investigations he's doing now would get investigated. So, that would be his biggest nightmare. So he's really trying to just guarantee this majority. Trump's been, it seems, insecure about his majority almost the entire time he was president.
Especially recently.
There
was Elise Stefanik, who he initially wanted to elevate to UN ambassador, but he was like, no, stay in your seat.
Yeah.
He wanted Mike Lawler to stay in his seat and not try to run for governor. So there's a few examples of this. I think there's a very slim majority. I think it's 2 or 3 seats, something like that. So something to keep your eye on because Trump is clearly worried about this as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's legitimate because like you said, if the Democrats take the House, there will be impeachment. There will be,
of course,
nothing's going to happen. It'll be just, doing everything they can to stymie any kind of progress for the American people.
Well, and I think that's the benefit, not even to go back to the Epstein thing, but of doing that stuff, because there has to be something that switches that, because that's kind of their ticket into an impeachment.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm a naked partisan, so like anything that they can do to throw sand in the gears of whatever the Democrats are going to try, I'm for.
Sure.
Because if they don't, then the Democrats are going to do whatever they can to throw not just, not only impeach Donald Trump, even though I don't imagine that he'll get removed from office because I don't think they'll take the Senate, but they would try to take him out of office. And then should they get the presidency again, I imagine all of the bureaucracies will get filled up with Democrat sycophants again, and they'll come after people in the right wing podcast sphere. They'll go after people like Joe Rogan. They'll go after people like Tim Pool. They'll go after people that have Benny Johnson and anyone that they consider a political enemy. They will absolutely target and go after, because that was the plan when Kamala Harris would have won. So.
Well, just like before, it's why they're saying that Stephen Colbert is the enemy, or like supposedly people are the enemy of him when that's really not the truth.
No, Stephen Colbert's his viewership is why he lost his job.
And his viewership was a result of, I think, CBS pushing him to do something. I mean, it is his own. I mean, you have to, blame somebody for what it is. But CBS, I do also blame, because they're the ones that pushed all that crap on him. Mm-hmm. And then they're the ones that are going like, oh, your numbers are down. It's like, well, you kind of forced it.
Yeah, I mean,
your whole company did this, but they all did that woke stuff.
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong. But again, just like you said at the end, it was not just Colbert. It was all of them. And
it's
also
like Disney blaming the Snow White girl for being Latina. Like, why are you Latina? Because you did it.
Yeah.
It's you guys that did it, not her.
The only thing that I would add to that is they did it at a time when people were moving away from cable TV anyways.
Right.
So it just sped up what was already happening. So.
Oh, sure.
All right, so let's jump to this story. This is breaking news from, I guess, from Fox News, from the Ingram angle. We'll go ahead and we'll play the bit.
Is his primary resident.
Easy there. You ready to go? Yeah. Okay.
An Ingram angle exclusive, a Trump administration source telling the angle that a criminal investigation of Adam Schiff is underway, conducted by U.S. Attorney's Office in Maryland for possible charges involving mortgage fraud. Now, this follows the story we broke last month when the Federal Housing Finance Agency sent a criminal referral to the DOJ alleging that Schiff, in multiple instances, falsified bank documents and property records to acquire more favorable loan terms. In a 2011 affidavit signed by the then California congressman, he certified that a property in Montgomery County, Maryland, is his primary residence. He also owns a condo in Burbank, California, which he's also claimed is his primary residence.
He always looks like he's swallowing at a glory hole, doesn't he? Like he's always
campaign for Senate.
Like he just finished it.
Just about every member of Congress has a resident.
An Ingram angle.
So this is essentially the same thing that they accused Donald Trump of, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they said that he committed mortgage fraud, which even though in Donald Trump's case, like the banks were like, nah, this is good. Like we made money. This was fine. This is different because Donald Trump was accused of lying about the value of
his apartment
of the apartment.
Mar-a-Lago.
Mar-a-Lago.
There was an apartment in New York as well. Am I wrong about that?
I don't know. So
Okay.
I don't know. I'd have to look into that. But this is the same thing that Letitia James has done,
or whatever.
So she claimed that she was a resident of one place, and for tax reasons or whatever. Now Schiff was claiming that he was a resident of California while he was spending all of his time in Maryland. And now his argument is, well, I work in D.C., so I have to do this. But if you work in D.C., I'm not sure the mortgage how it makes how it makes mortgage fraud. So,
well, he works in D.C. and lives somewhere else.
Well, you have to live in California to be a senator from California. You actually have to reside there, so you have to spend X amount of time there.
Well, that's what happened to Letitia James because she had a house in Virginia and she made it her primary residence, but she's AG of New York. It's kind of a problem.
Yeah, and so
you have to have your primary residence. I mean,
his primary residence has to be in California,
right?
Because he.
But you could have an office right off in D.C.
Yes, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure the exact details of this particular issue.
Look, I'm no Schiff fan, but doesn't this seem like a little bit flimsy? Like, can we get the real goods on this guy, like for participation in the Russian collusion hoax for years? But no, we get him on what? Mortgage fraud? I just suspect this isn't going anywhere. I feel like we're, and this just feels like some red meat. Like, this isn't going anywhere. Mortgage fraud, really? Give me the juice. Give me something meaty. But no, we're getting, some mortgage fraud. What do you think even if they convict him, which I doubt they will, what are the real consequences of this going to be? Nothing. I think this was just a juicy story to be leaked to Laura Ingraham from somebody in the administration doing somebody favors, and it almost seems like they're trying too hard to go after him, and they don't have the goods. Go after him and get the goods. But no, you're coming to me with mortgage fraud. Mm-hmm. What about his part? All the Russia hoax BS that he was spewing for years that helped contribute to the Steele dossier that eventually helped wrap Trump up in this crazy media narrative. But no, mortgage fraud. So it's like, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a judge.
Okay,
so worked in law, but I don't suspect this is going to go very far.
So the argument from Fox News, Senator Adam Schiff is under criminal investigation for mortgage fraud. A Trump administration source told Fox News. Fox News host Laura Ingraham broke the news on Tuesday night on the Ingraham Angle, saying that the source said a criminal investigation is being conducted by the U.S. Attorney's Office in Maryland on possible charges involving mortgage fraud. The investigation comes a month after a story broke about the Federal Housing Finance Agency sending a criminal referral to the Department of Justice, alleging that Schiff, in multiple instances, falsified bank documents and property records to acquire more favorable loan terms. In a 2011 affidavit signed by then California Congressman Schiff, certified that a property in Montgomery, California, Maryland, is his primary residence. Schiff also owns a condominium in Burbank, California, which he has also claimed as his primary residence as recently as 2023 during his campaign for Senate. Schiff's office did not immediately respond to Fox News Digital's request for comment.
And also a bar in the meatpacking district called the Blue Oyster. Where every Saturday he does his job as a urinal. I think as far as mortgages
I wonder how many
go,
people know what the Blue Oyster Bar is.
Police Academy.
Police Academy, yeah.
I think as far as mortgages go, and the wonderful job that they've always done with the housings at 3 times what it's worth and the 12% interest rates, does it matter? I mean, is this really what the American people should be concerned about when you look at the way that we've been screwed so many times?
I mean, look, I'm a naked partisan. Anything that put this guy in anything to give him problems, I'm down with.
I am too. I get giving him problems about this. The problem is it's just what Zillow does, it would seem at this point. It's not like, I think you have to get something that sticks, and I just don't see this as something that sticks because it's a write-off that you could then go at any conservative for, I believe.
Well, it depends. If he's claiming that claimed that it was his primary residence in Maryland, then he's not eligible to be a senator from California.
I get that. I'm just worried about the domino. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's possible that there are other people that have done this. Sure. But unless there's evidence of other people doing this, I personally am not worried about, what could happen to other people. Again, he's made claims that his primary residence is in Maryland. He's ineligible to be in Congress or in the Senate as a representative of California. So possibly they strip him of his position.
Yeah, but I actually don't foresee that happening.
He likes to be stripped.
There's zero chance of that actually happening. I think is the issue.
You don't foresee anything happening though. You're nothing.
Nah, Phil, straight up, they're not going to take him out of the Senate because of this. And it's a pipe dream, and I think it's just a straight up distraction to say otherwise. Like nothing's going to happen to Peter because of this. He might even become more popular among Democrats because it looks like it's a partisan attack against him.
I mean, anything.
That's what I think.
Anything is going to be considered a partisan attack, though.
Not anything. If they had the goods, then
no, I totally disagree with you. When it comes to partisans, which I am, like partisans are going to say, no, whatever he did is fine because he's on our team. That's just the way that politics works now.
I agree with that, but I do also agree that this is kind of a nothing burger mortgage. You're not going to depose anyone from a Senate seat over this. You need something meaty.
I would love to see it.
It'd be great.
You can catch him with something meaty.
I mean, like, think what George Santos got tried with, and he still stayed in office.
But that's
not meaty.
Yeah.
Well, no, Santos is in jail right now.
Now, but he was in office for a while.
The Republicans themselves kicked him out.
Yeah, and it took a while.
And now a couple of them are asking them to Trump to pardon him. Well, just
I think that
just MTG.
I think that he should
George,
be. Yeah, they should pardon.
Are we free George guys?
Oh, I'm a free George.
I don't know if.
They should have never
sandwiched right now by the Aryan Brotherhood.
They should have never taken him out of office.
What happened?
That's not happening.
Oh, you bet it is.
Oh no!
A little cream pie from the Nation of Muslim.
Nice.
Sorry, the Islam.
Oh, yeah.
Islam nation.
He's not.
He's too glam to do well in jail.
Okay.
No. That's why. The fact that he's not is why they don't mind. And then again, they don't eat pork. Sorry. I can't.
Oh, man.
I just can't with these people.
I mean, I don't blame you at all.
Adam Schiff is a very limber fella here.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah, God, you look at him.
I do like how he effectively bullied, like when the Kamala ran for president, they put a black woman, like a lesbian black woman, in that Senate seat, and then Schiff just like bullied her out of that gig.
Oh yeah,
because he was already running. He's like, sorry, I know you check all the boxes.
It's like the grown Campbell Soup kid. The goofiest looking person. I kind of like him there because he's so non-threatening.
Yeah.
Like there's no way anyone takes him seriously.
Well, I mean, I agree with your estimation of him as a person, but he does get the vote, and he's always going to vote with.
Weird.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
He's going to vote with the Democrats.
He's a power player. I think. Like he worked his way up through the House to the Senate right now,
and it was all because of the.
Well, it's because he's anti-Trump and the Russia collusion stuff that he put out. Like Democrats in California would argue, like, yeah, he took down Trump, man. This Schiff guy with the Russia spin. So that's what they'd give him credit for, and.
Right.
So I don't think he's going to get kicked out of the Senate for this.
No,
I don't think any Democrats are going to give a crap either.
I don't think that there's a high chance of it, but I do think that it's good that they're going to, put the screws to him. There's nothing wrong with doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to like get these guys for parking tickets every day.
Yeah, like so. I mean, again, if you're like, oh, we're not going to get results, so they shouldn't. They shouldn't put the screws to him. That's
send your best meter maid at that man.
I
agree with both. Like you're not wrong
Yeah.
at all. Yeah, like that's the thing is you're both accurate in this. It's just I just think it won't stick.
No, I tend to agree with that. They're not going to be able to make anything stick. I don't think, but I do think that they should do everything they can to make his life difficult.
Yeah,
because he did that to Republicans for however long he's been in, or however long he was in the House and Congress. He was doing that, and he's going to continue doing that. So make him. The process can be the punishment.
Yeah,
and again, all of the stuff that Elaad mentioned about the Russiagate stuff, there's still ongoing investigations for that. So if there's any way they can put the screws to him for that as well, I'm all for it. So like I said, I'm a naked partisan. So anything they can do to make his life more difficult, I'm gonna be supporting. So we're gonna move on to to this story. What is it? The Jim Acosta interviews an AI version of a teenager killed in the Parkland shooting.
This was
it's just a beautiful thing. It's actually disgusting.
Was this a real kid that was?
Yeah, that's
a real
this is
fake
a real
kid.
Real fake kid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he
Isn't that
okay?
crazy? No, he's dead.
Oh, really?
It's a dead kid that they reanimated to life with like low quality AI. Wow. This is why I hate AI. I'm always telling people this technology is the worst.
I hate it too.
Yeah, total garbage. And now what are we doing it for? It's like, yeah, guys, we're living in the future. Now we could like have videos of dead people like having their mouths move and like have them regurgitate my political beliefs back to me.
Right.
It's like he's interviewing himself and
Right. Do you know?
So anyways,
do you know if the kid felt this way? No. He's been dead a long time.
Well, he was killed by gun violence, so he has to be.
Let's get into
that's
He
his
has to agree with me.
Hold on. Let's get into this here. Variety reports Jim Acosta, the former CNN chief White House correspondent, who now hosts an independent show on YouTube, has published an interview with an AI-generated avatar of Joaquin Oliver, who died at age 17 in the Parkland school shooting in 2018. The interactive AI was created by Oliver's parents, who granted Acosta the first interview with the recreated version of their son on what would have been his 25th birthday. Oliver was one of the 17 people killed in the mass shooting at Marjorie Stoneham Douglas High School. Acosta asked Oliver about his solution for gun violence, to which the avatar responded, "I believe in a mix of stronger gun control laws, mental health support, and community engagement. We need to create a safe space for conversations and connections, making sure everyone feels seen and heard. It's about building a culture of kindness and understanding." It is incredibly creepy. Do we have the actual video of them?
I hope not.
Yeah.
I mean,
It was on Twitter, and
we should show it. It was.
It's like low quality.
Let's see. Oh, this is actually
It's the
Acosta.
full show. You're gonna have to click through.
Yeah.
All right, welcome to the Jim Acosta
Oh,
Show.
it's right in the
It is
beginning
Monday,
here.
But it is another day.
Here with
Knowing
guitars.
Andy for several years now, I consider him to be a good friend. So, of course, I took him up on the
issues so we can create a safer future for everyone. What would you like to know more about?
Joaquin, I would like
Okay.
to know.
Right, if you want to share
that was
anything or have questions, I'm all ears. Just let me know.
Joaquin, it's Jim Acosta. I was wondering if you could tell me what happened to you.
I appreciate your curiosity. I was taken from this world too soon due to gun violence while at school. It's important to talk about these issues so we can create a safer future for everyone. What would you like to know more about?
Joaquin,
Like, that's literally like, would you like to know more from Starship Troopers?
Stephen Hawking.
Dude, it was better when Brando landed in the original Superman.
Yeah, for real.
I would like to know what your solution would be for gun violence.
Great question. I believe in a mix
Skipping
of stronger
class.
gun control laws, mental health support, and community engagement. We need to create safe spaces for conversations and connections, making sure everyone feels seen and heard. It's about
This is so
building a
morbid and
culture of
gross.
kindness
It really
and
is.
understanding. What do you
Seen
think about
her,
that?
dude. What?
I think that's a great idea, Joaquin. We definitely need more of that.
I'm so glad you think so.
Is he also
More
AI,
kindness
or is
and
that his
understanding
personality?
really make a
That's just Jim
difference.
Acosta.
Together, we can create a world
17-year-old
where
is not
everyone
this
feels safe
well-spoken.
and
No.
supported. Anything else on your mind?
It's sad to do this.
I would like to know more about you.
Just
Can
the
you tell us
prompts are
about
so
yourself?
creepy. And now he goes on
What
to
would you like to do?
talk about sports.
I'm all about love, laughter, and living life to the fullest. I cherish my family and
Wow.
friends and
Just-
always try to
Yo,
spread
quit
joy
yelling,
wherever
Rich,
I
bro.
go.
Like
Though my life
AI
is cut
version
short,
1.
I want to keep inspiring
Exactly.
others to connect and advocate for change.
I just I can't imagine.
I would
mean,
never.
and it goes on like
I'm
that.
a
Where
father. I would never. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
it's disgusting.
And I lost plenty of my friends when they were teens, and I just can't imagine doing this. I'm sorry.
It's gross. But like it goes on where he's asking him about sports and he's talking about like things that he likes. Like
Really?
the kid died in 2017 is when it's
He looks like
so-
Rosie O'Donnell.
It's so incredibly gross. Acosta.
Acosta, not the
And you're right. If you look at Acosta, you can see that his roots are showing too. He's got a little gray going on there.
And I will say, I don't blame the parents as much. The
No.
parents are obviously going through it, and they're
Yes.
thinking, "What could I have done differently, possibly, to have saved my child?" And I'm not a father. I hope one day to be, and I'm sure if I ever lost my child, I'd be constantly reliving that and thinking what I could have done differently to change that. But Jim Acosta, what a piece of absolute absolute fucking garbage. And he's really just manipulating the parents and using them to try to advance his specific politics. And it's so gross because, you know, the right could do this too, but they choose not to. They could, you know, have some parents who say, oh, maybe they could have used some more security guards there, or had more police there, or had police who actually decided to go in to the school, because at the Parkland school shooting, they didn't have the police actually go inside when the shooting was happening. So just so nakedly gross to use literally dead children to try to advance your political agenda.
So digital taxidermy. It's a horrifying thing.
Well, the two went in for Uvalde, but they were complete pussies.
Yeah.
So I mean, Uvalde was
very
special,
sad.
disgusting.
Very sad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when you saw like the body cam from like Nashville, where they just ran right in right away.
Yeah, and they did their job.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's
the same as the guy who borrowed the gun from the barber shop, or what was it? Yeah, in Uvalde. It was military.
Yeah. So the overall reaction is actually nonpartisan. Most of the time, you expect people to kind of, you know, pick their side and okay, I'll defend Acosta because I'm politically aligned with him. But even over on Blue Sky, the response was absolutely excoriating him. You know, hey, Jim, quick question. What the F is wrong with you? What I want to know is what the F is wrong with the parents. Grief makes you do crazy things. Acosta has no excuse, though. And it goes on. That's not him. This is not his true self. That's a computer generating answers. Jim, you ever think about turning into MDF? Might be more useful career pivot. I usually don't comment on stuff like this, but this is beyond effed up and gross. You're a monster. This isn't an interview. This is the AI version of Weekend at Bernie's, and they did a better job in animating a dead guy. And this is Blue Sky, right? This is not...
Blue Sky turns on a libtard, it's over.
Exactly. This is not X. I mean, X, you expect Jim Acosta to get excoriated, but it goes on and on and on. Thanks, I hate it. This is disgusting. There's no reason at all to do this. This is journalistic malpractice.
You're also looking at people that consider themselves artists, and they don't want AI to begin with. And now you're using it in the most egregious, disgusting way imaginable.
It is the most egregious, disgusting
I think the
way
right and left can come together and go, that's wrong on every level.
Yeah.
And like you said, I don't blame the parents. Grief is a horrible thing, but that's the worst thing you can do with it, I would say.
I think that's pretty accurate.
Especially when you're interviewing yourself, and then you're going, but it's a dead kid, too.
I mean, I don't think that there's I don't think anyone actually has had a positive review of this or positive response to this. I don't know how Jim Acosta thought this was a good idea. I mean, he said himself, but he was, you know, here he is advertising a show you don't want to miss at 4 p.m. I'll be having one of a kind interview with Joaquin Oliver. He died in the Parkland school shooting in 2018, but his parents have created an AI version of their son to deliver a powerful message on gun violence. Then where was the actual powerful message on gun violence? Because that was the most boilerplate, you know, boring,
regurgitated.
Exactly. It's the most garbage kind of thing that you could possibly imagine.
Well, I love the mental health thing, where it's like we do have a massive mental health problem in this country. We also have a dopamine problem. We're addicted to our phones. We have companies that want us addicted to our phones, so people stop feeling anything. And that there's so many things you can get into, but an AI robot is the last thing you want to have tell you that.
Yeah.
And also, I love during COVID, you had a bunch of books behind you every time somebody was doing an interview, and in this, it's just his books. I don't know. I just noticed that nothing says narcissism like that.
Can't sell any of them. They got to put them back there.
No, he's like, I think I just had a lot of returns today.
You know, I think too, if you just ask ChatGPT the questions Acosta asked, you'd get something totally different. So they had to have coded this like, give me the most run-of-the-mill lib answers. Like that's what they coded this person to be reanimated as. So this guy was killed horrifically and reanimated literally as a lib.
Yeah, I mean,
as an empty shell, as a symbol of liberal light.
Yeah, I
can't
can't imagine
That's what
that,
they had to prompt
I
it.
can't imagine that they had a data set that could accurately, be used as an AI to reflect what this kid was like.
No, and they couldn't have had actually a bunch of data that went together from all the shootings where it was like, well, I think SSRIs are a problem, so you don't want to get a suite at the Mandalay Bay. He would have just stopped it. So it's not like there's a bunch of stuff they were covering to have an actual answer. Like you said, it's just boilerplate, run-of-the-mill. It's irresponsible.
Yeah, I do think that it is irresponsible, and I think he's getting the result that he deserves, the criticism that he deserves. I don't see how
he does. Yeah.
You know what? Maybe we don't have a lot of answers from the Las Vegas shooting. Maybe we could try to reanimate Stephen Paddock. Stephen Paddock, and have an interview with him.
Jim
See what
Acosta
answers
can
we
get to
get
the
out of
bottom
him,
of it,
and
yeah.
like.
Yeah, it'd be funny if it's like, I don't know, I didn't like the hotel.
I lost a lot of money. I think, isn't that the current line? Like, I lost a lot of money gambling with my Asian wife who was using me.
Wouldn't swap my towels.
I honestly think that the FBI wouldn't allow that, personally.
Probably wouldn't.
I don't think the FBI is going to allow that at all.
It would just be, like, why'd you bring him in, though, at check-in? Well, I don't know, I had a feeling it wouldn't go well. I lose every time.
They just keep letting me back in, so someone had to pay for it.
You'd be surprised, but you only packed one shirt. You had 6 suitcases of weapons.
He had so many guns up
That's
there.
crazy.
Yeah. Like, even if I was in line, I'd be like, excuse me, it's a lot of gun bags.
I'm going to the.
Are those guitars? No. I have plans.
The rate of fire doesn't add up.
I've got the highest floor. I mean, it's very sad. But if I don't make light of it, but it's absurd.
How long ago did it happen?
I mean,
It's 2018.
2017?
a while ago.
I don't.
I mean, not that long ago.
I mean, it's over 5 years, so I think it's safe to make.
I mean, it was pre-COVID.
It was, yeah.
Even Parkland, though, was, I think, 7 or 8 years ago at this point.
Parkland was 20.
It was enough to make David
2018.
Hogg famous, and now people are like, all right, enough.
Crazy that he became the most famous one, because there was like a whole crew of them. I remember there was like an Emma chick, and then there was the right wing version with Kyle
Kashuv.
Yeah, and
he was the one that was like not even there, right?
Hogg?
Hogg was not there.
Yeah, wasn't he like down the street?
Hogg was at school when it happened. He left, and then he went back to do a little dancing on graves.
Oh, once the coast was clear.
Yeah.
He's like, now that it's safe, I'm going to go pretend I was part of this.
Yeah, he was in another part of the school. He wasn't actually wasn't actually in danger from the actual shooting. He left, went home, and then went back and started giving interviews and was like, "Hey, here's my chance to be a Democrat apparatchik."
Can you imagine what a scumbag would run up to a news camera and just start making it about himself?
When he was 17, so part of me is like, all right, he's young and dumb, but then he turned that into, Harvard with poor grades and going on to be in the DNC after that and basically failing at everything that he tried to do. So
And wearing skinny suits.
He did wear skinny suits.
Because he threatened to primary one guy, and they're like, get him out.
Yeah,
we got some good ideas.
If you listen to James Carville, he was like, this kid's an idiot.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
They were primary. He wanted to primary safe Democrat seats because they weren't progressive enough. But it's like, look, man,
they're just kicking the can down the road.
Yeah, you're not helping anybody by primarying.
He is
safe.
their future, whether they like it or not. Yeah.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I don't know that he's extreme enough when it comes to the politics.
I think they're turning on him a bit.
Yeah, I think that.
Yeah.
Dude, straight, white. Come on. He's not on the hierarchy.
No, I mean,
he's chumming it up with Zoran. I saw that.
Oh yeah,
was he?
Yeah, they're boys.
Well, I mean, again, I think that Hogg is the most self-serving of the Democrats that I know of. I don't think that any of it is motivated by actual political beliefs other than, I'm supposed to be a Democrat or I am a Democrat. That's how I identify. So I'm going to just be a Democrat. I don't think there's anything other than self-serving attempts to.
Well, he has the weird combination of being self-serving and having a chip on his shoulder, and that's always a really deadly combo.
Could be, yeah.
We called in bomb threats not to go to school. And then Columbine happened and all that jazz.
That was Yeah, that did put a damper on
Didn't
a lot
it?
of.
It used to be like it was funny though when we'd be like, this is dogs going into the school in a robot, and you're like, maybe we shouldn't do this anymore.
There were no robots back in the 90s.
There were like little bomb ones, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh. I thought that was. I thought that those didn't really become a thing.
Yeah, like little remote ones. I mean, I don't know if they did anything. There wasn't a bomb.
Looking.
Somebody who I won't say who did it from a payphone in Detroit outside a bar anyway.
Well, you
we
never
know
can
it.
tell with Detroit, right? The schools were crazy.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, public schools. Yeah, they had these things called metal detectors. And then they had people that work security in a lot of the schools.
Really, in the late 90s, huh?
Yeah, through the 80s and 90s. Even where my son goes to school, there was there was the opportunity to have a armed off-duty Detroit police officers, retired police officers, and the entire school was like, "Yeah, good, yeah, we'll do that." Just taking a quick vote. I mean, I think everybody wants to protect their children, no matter what side you're on when it comes down to it.
But doesn't that make sense? I mean, at least particularly nowadays with the advent of school shooting, since Columbine.
It really has. It's crazy because that one was out of nowhere.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then, I mean, there had been a few before, but it was in the 70s. You know, there had been gang violence, but that was a very rare one. And they wanted to blame Manson and goth kids, but it turned out that it was actually two fairly popular kids, one extremely intelligent and one kind of a follower. And after that, I mean, the way that it is now is just alarming. So there is a problem, but we have to identify what it actually is. And what is it?
I think that it's the fact that there are very few fathers and kids being raised by single mothers and SSRIs and
I think it is a lot in the treatment. I think there is a lot of I think there's a lot of that. There's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of I think the internet's a huge problem to it because you're not being judged by a group of friends. You're being judged by Earth.
The whole world.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think there's a lot of problems with psyche as a result with that.
Yeah, I mean, well, the idea that you're on display for the whole world, and if you put up the wrong picture, you can, or the wrong video, you can have literally 100,000 people mocking you. Is something that a kid is not prepared for.
No, it's something most adults are not prepared for.
Yeah, most adults probably can't.
I don't have the data in front of me. I believe school shootings to be going down. I think one of the core issues here is the social contagion aspect of it. So the Columbine stuff really blew up, and there was a lot of copycat people as a result of many things, but due in part by them getting the idea from the Columbine shootings.
Yes, almost instantly.
Like ton of copycat killers, which was really messed up. When I was younger, I remember they, I forgot the name of the program. They brought us all into this room, like an auditorium or something, and they all gave us an extremely dramatic telling of the story and how it could have been us. And they tried to get half the kids to cry, and everybody was all sobbing about this. And they really got this story out there aggressively, and it might have died down a bit now, but even still, when you're seeing these school shootings, it could encourage others to do these copycat type attacks, especially because humans are so stupid and we're such followers. And
Real.
Nowadays,
that was a big
there's also-
problem, like in the 2010s, where they would a school shooting would happen, and then they would have a scoreboard. And it would show the record shooting. I was like, of course that was going to lead to these psychos.
And also nowadays, what is actually?
It was like a thing. It would be like,
it's like who's killed the most kids, and
deadliest since then.
Yeah, the Columbine got mobbed
we're losing.
And what's considered a mass shooting nowadays has been really, the waters have been muddied so much because now they're talking about anyone that's shot, like any shooting that happens where there's more than two people that are shot. Right, and when you say a mass shooting, it brings to mind someone going. Well, I mean, a lot of people that have lost their lives, and it brings to mind someone that goes with the intent to kill multiple people and starts shooting and continues shooting and killing people until they're stopped. So you think of a large death toll. Nowadays, anything that happens, any event with a gun on a school, they call that a school shooting. So if a gun goes off and someone gets shot, they call it a school shooting, not an accident. It's a school shooting. Anytime there's more than two people that are shot in one event, they call it a mass shooting, which, again, if you're walking down the street and there's someone decides that they're going to try and rob someone and they shoot the person they're trying to rob and two people get hit in the crossfire, they call that a mass shooting, but the contexts are very different. So when you're thinking of a mass shooting, and it brings to mind these horrible events where multiple people are shot and killed, or someone is mugged and someone shoots them and 2 other people end up getting hit, those are 2 very different types of crime, and 2 different types of criminal perform those crimes.
Well, it's a scare tactic.
Yeah, and that's the point. They muddy the water so that way they can essentially farm clicks, I imagine.
Well, that's the main reason for anything now. And like you guys said when it first happened, I mean, the immediate response, I remember, was lockdown. And they said, if there's a shooter, we're going to pull the fire alarm and we're going to barricade the door and everybody gets under a desk. So essentially you're sitting ducks. And, it's like, well, first of all, what if it's a fire and we don't hear the shots? So now we're just sitting in a classroom under desks. But the way that they responded, they had no idea what to do with it. And now it's like you said, a lot of times someone will bring a gun to school on accident. They will do it to be cool. Something will go off. And now it hits all these stats and it's not necessarily real. So we don't really know how to, they're not all individual. They're all just lumped into one thing to kind of scare every single parent.
I think there is something so horribly fascinating about this social contagion idea and how bad ideas could spread from like one person to another for some of the most horrible things, and how talking about these things more can help encourage them in people. So like school shootings aren't the only example. Offing yourself is another example. When it's covered more in the news, it's a crazy phenomena that it increases suicide rates. And another thing is like the trans issue. The more attention that the trans issue is given, the more trans people we see start popping up due to this social contagion theory. So I think it's crazy how impressionable people are, and I think it's something that we need to be like hyper aware of. And then it's an interesting thing in how we in the media should behave knowing those things. Should I not cover people offing themselves as much because I know it could help spur other people doing that? Should I not cover school shootings the same way because I know it could lead to others? Should I not name shooters or this or that? So just something to be aware of as people. I think we're super impressionable.
Yeah, I think the idea, okay, you name the shooter because that's what they want. I don't know if that's true. Right? That's just something we say. I think going, okay, well, suicides are up against men. Do you be honest and say it's gambling? Do you be honest and say it's these certain things of huge loss to people is what causes it? Or do you kind of keep hiding that too? We kind of just put all that stuff out there. The trans issue, I think, is also proven to be real, where the more and more we talk about it and make an issue, the more and more people want to identify it for attention. So it is tough to say what is what, but we do kind of talk about it. Then we put these blanket things over, like we can't talk about the shoot. That's not preventing anything. So, and also we do that thing, like you said, calling certain people teens, then naming certain people on the other side because we can talk about that person. We muddy it all up, so we're never getting clear actual statistics of what's going on.
People are such hard asses about the naming now. It's like, oh, you support this guy? Is that why you're naming him? You're trying to make him famous or something? It's
Right.
like, bro, I don't think this is going to change anything at this point. Like,
No, and it's not going to satisfy him. He's dead.
But it did get out of control for a while where like a shooting would happen and then you get like a full like Netflix documentary on it.
or like Time front page. I think it was the Boston Marathon.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So
bomber,
it's like-
where it's like we're
That was-
fetishizing these people.
That was the
It's
Rolling
disgusting.
Stone cover, which
Oh,
is
that's what it
horrible.
was.
So it's like if you had nothing to lose and you're just like, this is it. It's like, well, you can get a Netflix documentary out of it. I mean,
Yeah, if you're going to be on the same cover as Kurt Cobain, that's certainly incentive.
yeah.
But
in a messed up way.
yeah.
It's I think that it does make sense to do what you can to minimize the shooter or the people that are carrying out these violent acts. If it makes sense to actually name them, or if it makes sense to talk about their background or whatever, then I think that it's acceptable. But the idea that you have to talk about them ad nauseum and talk about their motivation, etc. I'm not sure if that's a good idea or not, because if they have, motivations, that if they have some kind of manifesto or whatever, maybe it is good for that to be put out. But at the same time, if it will inspire other people, I'm not sure where the line is,
Like the kid who was the son of a Hollywood producer, I believe he produced like Harry Potter movies or something. And then he shot up like a restaurant in Malibu. I think that was an interesting one where you kind of go, okay, well, there's this rich kid who's spoiled and kind of has everything. Why? Why is that life as vapid and empty as another life? And I mean, you could read like Bret Easton Ellis's Less Than Zero and see why, but if you're not really aware of that, it's like, why do these things where people have so much and people have so little have these same repercussions of violence?
Well, what about something like the Christchurch shooter, the guy that shot up the mosque with all of the, both the weapons that he used had all kinds of crazy writing on them and stuff. Is that worth discussing, or is that worth making his manifesto known? I mean, he live streamed it on Facebook. I don't know that you could find the actual live stream, but for a while it was available on the internet, and you could literally just watch the guy. He got out of his car, went to his trunk, picked up a gun. I don't remember. I could be misremembering, but I want to say that he's humming as he does it, and it's just really brutal and morbid to think about, Well,
it was so casual. That's what I recall, that it was done in such a way that I think the first person at the door greeted the guy, if I'm not mistaken, and the FPS nature of it also made it look so surreal, creepy. Almost like a video game where, like you're in GTA, where it just almost didn't make sense seeing it. I think on the manifesto stuff, it's like, if we're being honest, it's a messed up way to get your stupid manifesto a ton of attention. And then some people would give credence to it and some people won't. And, that'll kind of just be that. But it's tragic. And
I'm just wondering where do you guys think we should draw the line, though? Is there a place where it's acceptable to say, okay, this particular person's information should be given to the public, this particular person's information should be withheld? There is, I think, a valid argument for, look, people shouldn't be kept in the dark. If the government has information, there's no actual reason to withhold it from the public. But there's also the argument, if you put this information out, it may inspire copycats. I'm wondering if you guys think there's a line. Is it some should, some shouldn't? All of it should be kept as quiet as possible, or?
I think a lot of it should be able to. You can seek it out, but it shouldn't be jammed down your throat. I mean, I think we should be allowed to have the information as citizens. I think Ted Kaczynski is something, for an example, where you can look and go, okay, he's a genius. There's a lot of information here that he was accurate about. He just shouldn't have made nail bombs. Like the whole thing that was
He was wrong about the post office.
He was wrong. He really blowing off a postal worker's hand was the thing he shouldn't have done, but the rest of it reads where you're like, pretty accurate.
Yeah.
You could have made like a Substack or something.
Yeah, I mean, really.
Yeah. If only the internet was around when he was,
And even if it was around, he was in a place with real spotty Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I imagine.
Out in that
Starlink or something.
Out in that shed in the woods.
Yeah.
But yeah.
If only Elon Musk.
But yeah,
can you imagine Ted Kaczynski,
But he's on. He just made
the guy that wrote Industrial Civilization and its consequences.
Right.
Dude, there's probably 30 of them alive today, but Twitter just gets it out of them, so they can just get fired up on Twitter, and it gets that juice out.
I mean, that's a valid point. How many people out there actually the internet has given them an outlet and prevented them from going?
I think the opposite. I think more people are getting radicalized on the internet, and you could find a small group of people who agree with your delusions on the internet, no matter how dumb your delusion is. You can find a group of people on the internet.
The point that we're making is that those people find people to talk to, and that's the outlet, as opposed to just
they become more radical as a result to only talking to the specific group of crazies who confirm their craziness. So in the past, if you were a complete wacko, you couldn't find crazy people online who agreed with you and gave you confirmation bias to your crazy ideas. You'd be around people who were like, nah, you're actually a moron. But now you could find somebody who says whatever you want is a natural thing.
I'm not arguing against that point. I think you're correct with that. But the point that the question that's...
But Marshall Applewhite found followers.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. It's like we had entire countries that were...
The point that I'm making...
So they could jump on Hail Bop.
Yeah.
I have no idea what this is. What?
The Hail Bop. I forget, what was it?
It was a comet that was coming.
Heaven's Gate.
And they were like, we're going to ride the comet. We just have to cut our
The point that I'm making is
the shoes were nice.
Find people to discuss these things with. And because you find people to discuss these things with, you don't actually become violent in the real world. And it seems that there is less violence today than there was 20, 30, 40 years ago.
Yeah, we had entire countries that were like communist and fascist. Like, The idea that these radical ideologies are spreading because the internet's like crazy. It's like last century was way worse for this kind of thing.
Yeah, we were talking about this last night. The 20th century was an absolute bloodbath, and all of the radical stuff that people are afraid of. I mean, by the time 1925 rolled around, there had already been the most destructive war in human history, and then to be followed by World War II, which was, again, the most destructive war in human history.
Let's give the internet some time to cook, guys. I think it's only been ubiquitous for, 20 or 30 years? Let's give the internet some time to cook. Don't worry. It'll cause a lot of problems with radicalizing people, I think, in the future. Yeah.
I'd only say 15, really. Has it had a
Has it really been everywhere that everybody's been on? We don't even have all the Indians on. The Chinese have a Great Wall of China. Internet-wise, Great Firewall of China, or what have you. So, no, I think if you give like a group of crazy radical communists ways to speak to each other online, I think they'd be talking themselves to the more extreme and not like this extreme.
So it's your opinion that there are more extreme ideologies today than there were in the 20th century.
I think they could be normalized easier by finding peers who agree with you and will confirm your crazy beliefs online, making you feel more comfortable and confident in them.
But I also think online, these people that are these like radicals ghettoize quicker. They just become purely online types of people. Where back in the day, they had to seek each other out. They'd start compounds. Like, when's the last time we got a good compound? We haven't had a compound in a long time.
You just don't know of the good ones. They're off the grid still.
I think that, it's possible that you could prove to be right, but I still think you're wrong. I think that the 20th century really was like, I think the 20th century might have been, the apex in recent history of just absolute batshit crazy people doing crazy things.
Well, you could get away with more.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you even look at like the mafia, you could just walk around like the Teflon Don, just kill people. I mean, it was really nice. I mean, not that it was good, but I mean, it was just
that level of anonymity.
You know what I mean? Like a fun time to live where like you really had to pick and choose the bloodbath you were going to air on the news that night. There were so many.
Yeah.
Good like you commit crimes, you could just skip town.
Right.
Nobody was finding you.
No, I mean, you would just bury somebody and they're like, I don't know what happened to Tim. Yeah. And that was it.
You could dodge a draft by just going to Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now, like,
go fish.
Or just have a bone spur. You don't even need to go that far.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like, now they're solving cold cases with DNA, which is interesting, but there's so many of them.
Yeah.
Like, now they're about to, like, find out with Jean Benet and stuff.
All you have to do is turn on, like, Netflix, and they have all types of murder mystery things.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what women, like, unwind to.
That's all
I always wondered who's watching this as women.
Yeah,
they unwind to murder
My
mystery.
girlfriend has literally watched everything that Netflix has to offer when it comes to murder.
It's terrifying.
I'm like, I have a lot of guns here. Do I really want you watching these kind of things? Like,
And they say if you unwind to that, you have severe mental disorders, and I don't know one woman who doesn't watch that.
I feel like
No offense, ladies.
severe mental disorders and women kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah, maybe they need it because they're always like, I want to feel safe, and I'm like, but you go to bed watching the Carnival Cruise thing where a woman gets taken and they still keep seeing her at different places even though she's 50 and still being trafficked. Did you see that?
No.
I didn't even know about it. So my wife's like, yeah, I've watched it twice. Why'd you watch it twice? It's horrifying.
She's like, there was nothing else on.
Yeah, she was like 16 and like the Bahamas with her parents, and somebody's just like, worker just took her and she's been gone.
Creepy.
That's why I don't go on cruises.
I don't go on cruises myself.
I don't go on cruises because I'm claustrophobic. Come on, I want to be able to go where I want.
No, I hate the cruises because you go on there and it's like the workers are like from like the Philippines and Indonesia and they look miserable. And then you ask them, they're like, it's actually a really good job in their country. And you're just like this.
If I want to murder somebody, I'm inviting them on a cruise.
If someone has to say good job and followed by in their country, it's not a good job.
It's not. It's not.
It's like they actually fight over this.
To be honest
like
with you,
wrapping cheeseburgers for like fat Louisianans.
Any caveats are not a good idea. It's actually a really good job. Caveat, no.
Yeah.
It's not a really good job.
Like, what's another good job there? Well, they sell cocaine off a jet ski. That's another one.
You could be a child soldier, so it's a little better than that. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever parachuted off the back of a boat and not lived? They do that too.
All right, we're going to jump to one last story here. Michael Rapaport was supposed to be playing at the Stardome in Alabama, and it was canceled. He tweeted,
played there.
"My show tonight at the Stardome in Alabama was canceled. I did not cancel. I would never cancel, especially since I'm already here in Birmingham, ready to perform. It was shut down because of protests and threats over my support for Israel and for speaking up about the 50 hostages still being held in Gaza. 670 days in captivity, and people are protesting me for demanding their release. It's embarrassing. It's sad, but I'm not ashamed. I stand by what I said and who I stand with. Fortunately, I got to meet some incredible people from Shabbat of Alabama today and had the blessings of wrapping tefillin, a ginormous mitzvah and a reminder of what really matters. I am Yisrael Shai." That's right. Yeah, I am Yisrael Shai, I think he said. Anyways.
Shabbat, tefillin, and Am Yisrael.
Yeah, wrapping tefillin is the weirdest thing that I have ever seen a religion do. Like they put
That's the weirdest thing.
Well, it's one of the weirdest.
Oh, is that where they
things.
put the box
They
on
put a
there?
box on their head. They put a box on their arm.
Well,
and
The scripture memory
in the
time?
box, there's scripture,
Yeah.
and
And they're like boxers.
and then it's cow leather that you wrap X amount of times, and it's symbolic. But speaking of the 20 hostages, Hamas actually released a hostage video over the weekend of Eviatar David, where he was starving, literally starving, not fake Palestinian starving, literally skin and bones, forced to dig his own grave, according to the Hamas video. Again, this is Hamas that chose to make a video of them starving somebody and forcing him to dig his own grave and counting down the days and watching him cry all over himself. So I think it's good awareness that that he's bringing to this, Mr. Rapaport.
So Hamas was violent?
Who'd have thunk it?
My stars.
I still can't believe that there are people that would side with Hamas.
They are.
Oh, yeah.
After the
You can't paraglide anymore?
you can be critical if you want to be critical of Israel
them for 9/11.
I know, right? If you want to be critical of Israel and the way that they're carrying out the war in Gaza, fine, you can be critical of that. I get it. But the idea that people are like Hamas are the good guys.
Yeah.
And it's like, come on.
Well, you talk about the 90s and people being unaware. This is the Middle East.
Yeah.
It's just war all the time and has been since I was a kid. Starving children is awful, but this has been the entire time I've been alive. Mm-hmm. I don't know how people are unaware of this.
Yeah, and it's and people love to say that it's Israel's fault. It was not Israel's fault that Iran and Iraq were at war for 2 decades or a decade or whatever.
And Iraq is really there because Iran lets them.
Well, yeah, because Iran is a very big and in context powerful country compared to
Then
Iraq.
you have Americans going, "Why would we bomb Iran?" It's like, what?
Because Iran,
you know, around here?
blow up Lebanon.
Did you not understand anyhow? It's a terrible dry place that God doesn't want you to live. Nothing grows there.
I mean, well, in Iraq, but Iran, if I understand correctly, Iran has they've got mountains and stuff.
That's true.
It's nice.
I've never been.
Neither have I.
It looks awful from all the footage I've seen. So I could be speaking out of turn.
Everything post 1979 seems to be kind of a mess.
Footage, I mean, it's getting just blown up all the time. That's every time I see the footage.
In Iran?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
missiles.
if you defend Jews now, you get called a Zionist, and you're like, I don't think you should be murdering Jews. Remember how that happened?
And not only if you defend Jews, but if you don't hate Israel,
Right.
then you're a Zionist.
Yeah.
Like I catch a lot of heat because I'm not like kill all the Jews.
Right. And then you hear Jews go, I'm not anti-Semitic because I'm against Israel. And you're like, what? So what are you then?
Yeah.
You're like, well, I'm just pro-Palestine. Okay, what do they believe?
From the river to the sea.
You want to read the Quran and tell me what part of that is pro-you? What do you think? You're going to be saved?
Well, especially when it comes to people in the West, those are the same people that would say, I think that I'm a queer for Palestine, which is
hilarious.
Yeah, it is hilarious. The idea that they and if you
we know, they only have sex with children who drive them around.
Right. I don't know. Is that the case?
That's what I've heard.
That's the case.
That's what I've heard. A lot of the soldiers, the I don't know what they have over there. Corporals, sergeants.
I don't know what Hamas.
No
is.
offense if I live, Dearborn, so you're there. God bless you, people. Allah bless you, people. Love you guys.
Peace be upon him.
The Quran, or as I call it, the good book.
It's a bestseller.
Oh, it's really
it's
top drawer.
Flying off the shelves.
So how
I call it the New Testament.
Yeah.
So this Michael Rapaport getting canceled, though, we were talking before the show. It's my sense that this is an internet thing as opposed to a locals in Birmingham thing. I don't imagine that there are a lot of people in Birmingham that are,
that we gotta let them hostages go.
That's kind of
No, they're anti-Israel.
Yeah, I mean,
There's a genocide taking place. That ain't right. Them kids are starving.
I mean,
Like, that's not how it's
Is that Jew lover down there?
That Zionist boy.
Tell me he hates Muslims? Get in the truck.
Get the queers for Palestine. We're heading down there.
Get in the truck. We're going to go down to the Stardome and not watch the show.
so I mean, it's my sense that it's kind of an internet thing, but I wonder why is it this particular location as opposed to is he on tour, or is it they just decided, get him now?
There's a lot of progressives in Alabama.
You gonna tell me the Nazi in higher learning ain't really a Nazi?
I mean, there's a lot. There are a lot of black people in Birmingham, and black people tend to not be
The
fond of.
Stardome is largely a black club.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, do you think that that's what it is? The black population in Birmingham.
They may have just not wanted to go to the show. I mean, I have nothing against him at all, but I mean, that could be it.
Maybe it just sucks.
Yeah.
It's like, I got protested.
I mean, honestly, they could have been the two that bought tickets and they were like, we got a 2-for-1. We got an emailed coupon for a meet and greet.
You can't say no to coupons, right?
No, I mean, would you blame them?
I can't.
Look how happy they are.
Bring those guys up. Look at, they're excited.
Yeah, they got there, and even Rapaport looks like, do I got to take this picture?
Jeez, guys, tone it down.
Oh, come on, guys.
A little on the nose.
How about Can I get you boys a hat with a brim? Yeah, I mean, I think if it's the real reason that people were protesting, if you're protesting outside and black people want to go to a show, they're gonna go to the show.
I imagine.
They're not gonna go. There's a bunch of white people who don't want us to go in. They're gonna go, do you want to move? Nobody's ever stopped a black group of people from getting into a concert. Or out. So, I don't know. It seems like a publicity stunt.
I mean, maybe it is. Maybe it is. I don't know if there's any kind of. Let's see if there's any kind of follow up to this, or if this is the.
There should be video if there's people protesting, right?
Yeah, you'd assume.
Partition the auditorium.
I will say he's not my favorite pro-Israel guy.
Why is that?
Michael Rapaport.
He flip flops a lot.
I thought he sucked before the Israel stuff. So now post Israel stuff, I think he just still sucks. He's a comedian. Like, I don't know. He does shows and stuff.
He's like, he used to do like when the Knicks drafted Kristaps Porzingis, and he was like, does he even have a green card? It was a beautiful thing. And then
I remember him as like a sports guy.
Yeah,
kind of.
and he was kind of
an
racist,
actor
and then he's
before.
liberal. It's like, what's going on?
He was in like Copland. He was really good. Higher learning.
Are all comedians kind of racist?
I mean, come on.
Good ones.
Landau, can you tell me about this phenomenon of all comedians just becoming geopolitical experts? I don't know, the turn of a switch. It's all these guys, because Rapaport now too, and I don't know what it is with comedy. Maybe it's about feeling really confident about, and while you don't know a lot about a topic.
Right.
What's going on here?
For me, particular.
No. It's is there something in the? And I don't know. They're giving you guys at the back of these comedy clubs.
No, I mean
a lot of world history books back there.
I ended up, tons. I ended up on the Anthony Cumia show. Gosh, 2016. So I just started kind of looking into it, and I started doing shows at Fox and meeting people. So for me, it was kind of before all of it. But I learned talking to people like you. The ones that happen to be experts on it like this, I don't understand because I don't buy it. That's why it doesn't make much sense to me, to be honest with you. And also, I'm kind of offended by actors who become comedians like him, because you're kind of going up on stage and going, hey, remember me from movies? Well, now I do comedy. You know what I mean? It's like how Jeremy Piven or Dustin Diamond, R.I.P., but it's like how they were something, now they go and do comedy. It's odd to me because it's like you didn't start as a comic, you became one after you were that. And I did like him as actor. There's a movie called Bamboozled, actually, that Spike Lee did, where he's the head of like the WB, and he's basically just like tap dancing on a deck. It's like a huge middle finger to the WB. Like Spike Lee or not, I think it's a brilliant movie. And he was a really good actor. So I don't know why he became this, but I think he just had something go viral that was political, so he stayed in that realm. And I think a lot of people end up doing shows where they talk about it, so it becomes successful for them, and then they stay in that angle. But once it turns on them, because he was huge left, then he switches and goes another direction. That's why it's hard to say what you really are. That's why I'm fairly moderate, though, because I don't trust either side. And the reason I don't is because, and I've talked about this many times, my dad got Agent Orange from Vietnam. He got sick when I was 15, died when I was 18. The government did nothing to help him. I do not trust either side. I've never seen the VA do anything for anybody. Once our soldiers are taken care of, and once I believe that a war deserves to be fought, I will. But until then, I don't believe in any of these people. I believe the Senate is overcrowded. I don't believe politicians care. Every time you get stuck in traffic, that's what I believe that they don't. I believe they take our money, they overtax us, and they waste lives, and they do not care about the average human being, and they want to keep us fighting. That's what I truly believe. So when people go, oh, you're moderate, you might sit on a fence, I do. Because I do not believe, I'm not partisan. I do not believe in either of these people. And to look at somebody, and I voted for Trump, and I've said that, but even that has now disappointed me. And until he can prove the Epstein list, because that's something I believed in. I thought he was going to stop corruption. I thought he was going to go after the swamp. Well, does it get any murkier than that? I don't think so. So I want to see where all of this goes. I'm so disappointed because we are polluted now with politicians, and they're nothing more than insider traders who take our money and gamble with it with tips they create themselves.
It's fascinating because a lot of comedians on both sides have become some of the most potent voices when it comes to a lot of issues like this. I don't know if it's I don't know if I'm being cynical now. I don't know if it's just to try to get some more buzz going on.
I'm cynical, so I understand.
But yeah, I don't know if it's like they're just hopping on trends, but they're doing it effectively. And a lot of these guys, their comedy is second or third to their activism. And so I don't know if they're just straight up opportunists, just hopping on trends, or they truly care, but they are getting the most ears in a lot of these cases. There's some leftist pro-Palestinian guy named Jacob Berger, I believe, who's like very popular in that space, and he gets a lot of attention. Obviously, there's Dave Smith, who gets a lot of attention. There's Mike Rapaport, who gets a lot of attention. Theo Von, whenever he talks about politics.
There's a requirement to voice your opinion in politics nowadays, though. If you don't, you get accosted by people that are accusing you of not having the correct politics, or you get accused of being this supporter or that supporter, whatever. So it's almost a requirement to say, look, this is how I think about these things. And there is kind of a politically correct politics to have now.
It's like comedians aren't even comedians anymore. They just they're just riffing on politics. They're just like D-level political commentators. Sprinkle in some jokes sometimes. I know more comedians who that's like their second or third
public faces, though.
That's why almost every opinion I've had tonight has been a joke. It's like comedy should come first to every comic, in my opinion.
I agree.
I think Dave Smith is very passionate about what he believes, and I think that's why he's a little bit more outspoken than most people about it.
And what do you think he believes? Because I believe, again, in a very cynical way, that a lot of these guys, it's just whatever's getting me the numbers. Like, that's what satisfies their ego.
I don't think he's chasing the numbers. I think that he very much believes the stuff that he says. I think that he very much believes that he does not believe in the war.
Do you think he has more success as a comedian or doing his activism stuff?
He was very successful as a comedian.
He was
first.
a successful comedian, actually, so I think he's kind of lost fans and gained some as a result of it.
I think his numbers have very clearly shot up since he's talked about more of his activism stuff, and I think he's gotten more likes and more
being on the Joe Rogan podcast multiple times.
I mean, he's been on it for so many years, it's tough to say, you know. So, I mean, he was known for Legion of Skanks, which that was really big with Compound. So, I think he's definitely got his fanship being in the political sphere. But, I mean, he goes back to Red Eye. He goes back to all that stuff. So, he's always been kind of, you could say it's like a Bill Maher. I mean, you can't really take the politics out of Bill Maher. Where if you look at somebody like Carlin, that's more who I admire because that's just completely black-pilled and kind of against everything. And that's where I sit. It's hard for me to align with anything because there's so much transparent stuff.
Here's my kind of beef with the comedians in the political realm too. It's like you're arguing with like a wet pig, and it's like if you pin him down, it's like you're a moron who's like, you know, you're just arguing with somebody who's just making jokes all day.
Yeah.
And then if you lose, it's like, oh, you lost some debate to some moron who's like a comedian just making jokes. It's Jon Stewart did this to Tucker Carlson once on like Crossfire. He's like, oh, you're taking me seriously? Like, what kind of moron are you? You're supposed to be the serious political guy. So it's like, you know, engage and you know they win. And
I think Jon
really
Stewart though holds himself as a serious political guy.
Maybe.
Well, you don't think like Dave Smith or even Michael Rapaport also hold themselves to be serious political guys? They definitely do.
I would say Dave Smith does. So I think at the end of the day, it's not. I don't think he defends himself with that comedy angle. I would be surprised that Jon Stewart do that. I haven't seen that clip.
Yeah,
because I would say that almost because going through the Daily Show, was it a while ago?
It was back when Tucker Carlson was on
Crossfire
CNN.
at that point, though, he was still a comic.
No, but I think that's true while talking to having a political debate with any comedian. I think it still holds.
I think finding the humor in it though is fair. I mean, if you're going to talk about anything in life, politics is still fair game. So you're allowed to argue it as a comic the same way as you're allowed to argue anything else. I mean, it's the same. I mean, across the board. I mean, if you see something wrong, you're allowed to point it out.
I guess my beef is that comedians just barely they're not funny anymore. They're just yapping and bitching about politics.
A lot yapping and bitching about politics.
That's it. It's like, thanks for your nice lecture. You're not, you know, Dave Chappelle where you got to that point in your career where you could just give me a long lecture and I'll think you're funny no matter what. It's just like, why are you bitching and moaning on stage? Make a joke. Like, that's
I love Dave, but I mean, I would argue that the element of that is the turnout an hour because everything's content online now. And I would put that in movies. I would put that in a lot of things. I think we stopped creating art and we started creating content.
Yeah, I think, and it's worth noting that if you're watching a comedian stand up, then they tend to be funny. Like if you watch Dave's stand up, Dave is funny.
Great.
But if you're watching like Dave on a podcast, Dave is not doing stand up on a podcast, and he's not on a podcast because he's a comedian. He's on a podcast because he's a libertarian activist. Almost all the time. Right? Like very rarely does Dave go on to a podcast as Dave Smith, the comedian. Like he's a funny guy, and so he might crack some jokes, but he's not there specifically because of Dave Smith, the comedian. He's there because he's a political activist. He's there because he's a libertarian.
My thing too is if you look at, if there's an authenticity to it, right? Now, if I look at a lot of people in the right-wing sphere that I've met personally, they're not authentic. They're lying. They're just saying something to make money. I've met plenty of these people. They have other people write all their stuff. They're not actually bringing out what their natural opinion is. You've said everything you feel today off the top of your head. I've watched it. There's an authenticity to you, so I believe you. I enjoy talking to you. It's what I felt about everybody in this room. But I've met plenty of people who aren't that person. So you meet so many inauthentic people in this sphere that I look at those people and go, well, isn't that the same uninformed person, but they're making 100% of what they do in this?
It's a fair point, I guess, and yes.
Yeah. All right, we're going to...
No. I think it's and I do agree. I mean, there are a lot of people that I do find mind-numbingly painful to watch now because of this. Like, I wish I fell into politics sort of incidentally. But I think comedy's number one, man. And I think it always should be for any comic. That's how I personally feel about it.
All right, we're going to go to Super Chat. So smash the like button, share the show with everyone you know. Go on over to rumble.com, become a member, then head on over to timcast.com and join our Discord where you can hang out with like-minded people and you can call into the after show. You can talk to us, talk to our guests, ask questions. But right now, we're going to go to your Super Chats. And I think we're going to start with some Rumble rants here. Shane H. Wilder says, Rwanda just agreed to take up to 250 of the deported illegal aliens. If they want them, they can have them. They can put them in Don Cheadle's hotel.
I'd rather go back to whatever South American country than Africa. I mean, damn.
I mean,
what are you going to share the food? Rwanda.
the reason that they're ostensibly the reason they're going to to Africa or countries in Africa is because the countries of origin don't want them back because they're actual criminals. Like they're the bad guys, the bad hombres that Trump has sworn to get, or has said that he's going to get rid of. So, look, I am as pro deportation as you can get. Like, send them back by the bus load, by the plane load. I don't care. Just send them back.
Do you think there's any exception?
Personally, no. My opinion is that everyone that's here illegally should go. We should have a moratorium on all immigration for the next 10 years. And so that way the people that are here legally can assimilate, and the only people that should be let in are like possibly O1 visas, and there should be stringent requirements to those O1 visas as well. Like you have to you can't be someone that's like, if you have anti-American sentiments, if you're some kind of socialist or you don't believe in America's values, then you shouldn't be allowed in. I'm very, very strict about what we should do when it comes to.
What if you're hot, like a Colombian?
See, now this is the Alex Stein big booty Latina argument, and I still say no.
Wow,
he's not even dating a big booty Latina. That guy, and his whole shtick is big booty Latina, and he has the whitest girlfriend I could ever imagine.
No, I have to work next to him.
It's all a fraud. It's
aggravating.
You comedians, you can't trust him.
No. Let's not call him a comedian. Now,
what?
Yeah,
we're gatekeeping it now, huh?
I got scared for a second.
Alex is so nervous. Alex is a good friend of mine.
But yeah, nobody can stay. Everyone has to go. If you're here illegally, you have to go. And I would go so far.
But if you're like this close, and you got a family and a dog,
they can all go.
Okay.
The dog can stay.
But the kids would be kosher. That's the issue. They'd have anchor babies, so the children are citizens. You've been in the country for 30 years.
The kids can come back when they're 18. Like send them back with the parents. They need when they're legal age to come in, then they can come back because they're U.S. citizens. But they have to leave with the parents. Then they can come back, and you can't chain migrate back either because you were here illegally. You don't get to come back when your kids come back. I'm the kind of guy that thinks that we should actually punish business owners that hire illegals, and I think that if you rent your apartment or some kind of a room or whatever, a house to an illegal, you should lose the house. Like I want to make it as the thing that I want to make it as uncomfortable for illegals to be here as possible. So that way they decide to leave of their own volition. So we don't have to have ICE going and kicking in doors and finding people and stuff. The more difficult you make, so this sounds mean, right? But it's actually the most compassionate way to do it. Make it incredibly difficult for them to live here. Tax remittances at 90%. Do everything you can to make it as uncomfortable and unwelcoming here, so that way they decide to leave on their own. So we don't have to have ICE go and confront people. You don't have to arrest people. You don't have to have the police interactions.
I think the ICE show is the problem.
Yeah.
I think if we can tone that down, that would be the best way to handle it.
So tax the remittances, you're going to save a lot of money on ICE because that's the number one thing is people want to send money back to their homeland.
They'd
leave themselves. You wouldn't even have to worry about it.
The more difficult and more uncomfortable it is to be here as an illegal, the better. So that way they leave on their own. Yeah. And then look, man, you want to give them $1,000 to leave? I'm good with that too. Give them $2,000. If you leave and you use the app and say, look, here I am in my home country and I left, we'll send you $2,000. There you go. Like the point isn't that I'm trying to hurt these people. The point is I want as many people that are here illegally to leave America of their own volition, buy their own plane ticket so that way ICE doesn't have to get involved. And the more uncomfortable it is to be here, the more people will leave. And then we shut the border down for a decade so that way the people that are here can assimilate. Everybody has to learn English. The federal government should stop making any kind of paperwork or anything in any other language. They shouldn't provide translators. You have to learn English and my argument for that is because, look, everybody that speaks the same language, if you understand English, you can understand the concepts. There are certain concepts and jokes that don't, like there are jokes specifically, right? That the easiest to understand. Like they don't make sense in other languages, or there are jokes that make sense in another language that don't make sense in English. That's because of the way that language works. So if you all speak the same language, then you can understand the same concepts. It's far easier for people to understand the same concepts. So these things, I think, would actually make people that are here illegally leave, and it'll make sure that we can become a country that is less divided because we all share more commonality. So
good answer.
Thank you. Anyways, let's see. Mike the Wop says, I liked him, but when he's gone, it's like the teacher is out. There's a substitute, and you get to fool around. Clank. Oh, you're a clanker. That's he's talking about.
Clanker.
He's talking about
the Rizzler?
AI.
Sticks
The robots.
Hexenhammer. No, stick.
Oh, I thought that was a slur.
I thought it was a slur for robot. Clanker.
No, the spoon.
Wireback.
Dirty clankers coming for our jibs.
Yeah, those wirebacks.
No, he's a fan of Sticks Hexenhammer, and Sticks is great. He's great.
Should have him on the show.
I don't know that he travels, but
Shout out to
Band
Sticks.
Sticks.
great. No, he's a YouTube personality.
Oh.
Political commentator. Usually doesn't wear a shirt, I believe.
Eccentric, cool guy.
Bert.
Nice.
Let's see. SH22 says, this is what happens when you have women left to raise their kids alone, be it from death, jail, criminal enterprise. No positive male role model leads the way to this crap in D.C. I mean, look, man, there's a lot of people that complain about toxic masculinity and stuff, but like young men are raised by single mothers and they're instructed by women in schools. So if the problem is young men, who's teaching these young men? It's not positive male role models,
Yeah. I mean, a dad needs to be involved in a kid's life just as much. And if they choose to be out of it, that's on them.
Yeah. And like, if you choose to be out of your kid's life,
You're a garbage.
yeah, you're a bad person.
Right.
Like,
There's been nothing better for me than having a kid.
yeah.
I'll take that a little bit further. You need to marry your baby mama or your scumbag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take care of that kid for at least 18 years and then divorce. Otherwise, you know.
Pretend. Just pretend in front of the
Well,
kid.
don't do the crime if you can't do the time.
LARPing.
Right.
It's LARPing.
Yeah, you shouldn't be boning women that you
Just
wouldn't.
sneak out to one of them wax shacks. You know what I mean? Get a little rub and tug.
I mean, look, any closet and an internet connection is one of them whack shacks nowadays.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So specific, Phil.
Just you and another, you
Dark
could be each
closet.
other's beard. You know what I mean.
Michael McCord says they need a RICO-like charge for adults who convince or order juveniles to commit crime. That's not a bad idea.
I think that's a very good idea.
Yeah, some kind of something to say you're committing this crime as well as the child.
I don't disagree, but I don't think this is stopping the quote unquote youth from
The youth.
DC crimes and
It's like a New York
assaults.
Post
I was a
headline right
juvenile
now.
criminal though, so I
What kind of crime?
Well,
Murder?
mostly drugs, alcohol, not much murder,
Not much.
just a wee.
Just a small
No,
amount.
drug dealing,
fraud.
When weed
alcohol.
was bad.
The normal
Yes,
amount
when
of
weed was
murder.
illegal.
when
Yes.
weed was very illegal. I
Yes,
don't know,
when
20
weed
years ago.
was
I don't know.
Super illegal. Yeah. Oh no, it was very illegal. You had to go to terrible places to get it. Now you just walk into a store.
You had to go to terrible
It's
places.
everywhere.
Like the mall.
You got
Hard to avoid.
like CVS.
Yeah. Now you just walk into Kroger.
Yeah.
You use your card for gas
Or
points.
the nursery
It's
section.
It's nuts. But I think I think you should get a chance, though, depending on where you were raised, what's going on in your house. I think you deserve an opportunity to turn your life around at that age. But if you are of an age where you're 30-something years old, convincing kids to go out and do this stuff, you should absolutely catch a RICO charge for that. That is trafficking.
Yeah, something. I mean, something. Not that
it'll deter it. I'm not saying it'll stop these kids from doing illegal things, but I think it'll stop some.
Yeah, I don't know that it's a deterrent. I do like the idea of it being a punishment, though. Like I think that most criminals don't look at the law as a deterrent. If they're the kind of person that's going to break the law, they're going to break the law regardless.
Prison fundamentally isn't a deterrent. It's it's about incapacitation.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's literally about taking the most violent people in our society off the streets and moving and isolating the rest.
That's why,
of society
when they
from them.
plea insanity, it makes no sense. They're like, I'm too insane to go to jail. It's like, no, you're like the person that needs to go to jail.
Right.
What do you mean,
Perfect candidate to go to jail.
You're too insane to sit in court all
Well,
day.
then you should be put on lithium and locked up.
Yeah.
Definitely taken off the streets.
Well, I also think if you look at a 14-year-old and then look at high school and think about how long that was for you. Think of the idea of you don't get how short of a period of time that is in that time frame. That's forever for you. Mm-hmm. You can learn a lesson in that amount of time. It's not like it's now. It's not like you have a grasp of time. Like when you're that old, you still have an opportunity to change yourself. And I know a lot of people who have.
It's beautiful. Story of redemption.
Exactly.
It's beautiful.
They are real. Some of them are. Not Rudy. That guy, he didn't do shit. Come on, you nagged somebody until they let you play, and you go around talking about how you did something? Rudy didn't do shit.
Ruffio 1804 says, "Ahoy, Dave.
Ahoy.
I love Norm World, and I'm buying a fuzzy memoir tonight. You are the man."
Thank you.
That's your book, correct?
My book, Party of One, a fuzzy memoir.
Where can they find it?
They can find it on Amazon.com, and the audiobook is coming out at the end of the month.
Did you do the audiobook?
Yes, I'm working on it right now.
Awesome.
But I'm trying to add some stuff to it so it's not just reading, make it a little bit more unique.
Ad-libbing?
A little ad-libbing, and then I'm adding a little bit of some music stuff to it.
Oh, nice.
And just some sound effects, making it a little bit different. And, like police brutality and some other things I went through. But it's about my different arrests, stuff that I had to deal with, being locked in a mental hospital, stuff like that. So.
Oh. Okay.
Nice.
Bueno Malio says, it's mortgage fraud because he claimed both his California home and Maryland home were both his primary residence. He can live and work in Maryland as a congressman, but he called it his primary for better loan terms. Yeah, we were talking about that. Look, man, I do think that they should do everything they can to make his day miserable. I'm not a fan of Adam Schiff. I think that the whole Russia thing was garbage, and he was one of the most guilty of pushing that narrative. So if they want to, make his life miserable because the process is the punishment, I'm all for it.
He's got gay face.
He does have gay face.
They love that in California. Yeah, that's why he's a senator.
That tastes funny,
right?
Is he straight?
I mean, he might pretend to be. There's no way, though, with those cheeks. It looks like he's storing semen for the winter.
Wyatt Cladenberg says, Elaad, the feds could only convict Al Capone on tax evasion. He murdered people. Sometimes you have to get them on whatever you can.
Sometimes you just got to get him on mortgage fraud.
I mean, look, whatever it happen to be.
That's all you could get sometimes. And you got to take what you could get.
They also let him out of Alcatraz because his brain was rotting from incurable syphilis, and he was fishing in his pool.
Oh.
What?
It's true.
That's wild.
Yeah.
True. Nice.
Yeah, can you imagine? And they were all watching him, like the feds, and they're like, I don't think we need to watch. There's no way he's pretending all day.
Awesome. Josh O says, all that remains is a favorite band. Thank you very much, sir. Found Timcast by your stuff. As a cop, I have enjoyed y'all's content. There are some things y'all say about cops I 100% agree with. Love y'all, and you too, Dave.
Thank you.
That's funny because I think we trash cops on this show a relative amount. The other day I was on, Tim was like, NYPD, yeah, they're a bunch of commies. So thank you for, we love law enforcement here. ICE, you guys are doing a
Josh
great
is
job.
like, yeah, they are, though. So
There you go. It's a show for you.
Coffee Jerk 85 says reanimating a dead teenager just to have them voice over your political views to the public is friggin' ghoulish. I'll take 1984 over this S any day. I do think ghoulish is the proper term for that. It's pretty gross.
Yeah, you should only reanimate a dead teenager for sex.
Yeah. Right?
I mean, I think we all know that.
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of preaching to the.
I mean, 18, but yeah, thank
Right,
you.
yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying under.
Of course.
Right, of course.
How old was Jean Benet? 18, right?
I don't know.
Man, if she's not, I got some hard drives to break. 3 years of hard work.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
And I do mean hard. That is not a floppy disk.
Let's see. Bushido Kai says, by that logic, if you're pro-Israel, you're anti-Christian. Why don't you ask the average Israeli what they think of Christians? A Jew can be an anti-Zionist and not anti-Jew. What do you think of Christians, Elaad?
Where'd this guy come from? I love Christians, and the Jewish state exists due to the continued support of Christians. The Christians are the Jews' keepers in this planet. There's not enough Jews to be able to do it by ourselves. So if we didn't have, we're definitely not getting the support from Muslims, in which there are billions of. So, you know, the Jews and the Israeli state, the state of Israel exists to the good blessings and hard support from Christians.
Well, and it's pretty clear that they want everyone dead who's not them.
Who's they?
Muslim.
Oh, okay.
I'm not being racist. I'm being just dead accurate to their book. So why would you side with that? I'm not even saying get rid of them or anything against them. I'm just saying that is the actual goal of the Quran, is that they should inherit the earth.
They have a whole PvP-enabled server. They should just stay there. Stay out of Europe. Stay out of America.
And the quick tidbit, the way that anti-Israel sentiment manifests in our country is mostly from the left, thinking that Israel is white and right-wing coded. That's the reason why far leftists hate Israel, because they believe Israel are white people. So I think it's a fascinating, coalition we have of some people on the far right and some people on the far left being anti-Israel, when for all other intents and purposes, these people should absolutely hate each other.
How much crap do you get from like Reuters and stuff on the internet?
Not much. I just post my journalism too, so you know, my reporting I think speaks for itself.
So you don't really interact on the old X.
No. I'm not yapping on Twitter. I feel like people posture all day on Twitter. It's brain rotting stuff, frankly.
Isn't the number one name in Ireland Muhammad?
I believe.
Doesn't that say something?
I don't know about Ireland, but I believe that
It's
in
definitely
the UK.
England. It's 100%
Yeah,
England.
so yeah, you have like Muhammad O'Reilly. I mean, that's a problem, right?
Raymond G. Stanley Jr. says, "Killer show. Dave is leading the revolution."
Oh, thank you.
So
I don't know where that's going.
Who are we going after?
Yeah. Where are we going? McDonald's?
All right. Well, listen. Share the show with your friends, everyone you know. Smash the like button. Share the show with everyone you know.
Can I pimp a thing real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. We're about to get there.
Oh,
But
good.
Yeah,
I
so
didn't
Dave,
know.
do you
I
got
don't wanna
anything?
interrupt you. It
Dave, you
sounded
got
like you
anything
were
that you want
discounting.
to plug?
I'm sorry. Yes, please. I just wrote an article. It was one of my first ones, called "In Defense of Kwame Kilpatrick." It's on. If you go to blazeunlimited.com, you can use code Dave20 for $20 off a subscription. It includes my show Normal World and tour dates DaveLandau.com. Sorry, I didn't mean to jump in.
That's quite all right.
The pimpin' line.
Do you have an X account or anything?
I do. It's at Landau Dave. Okay. And that's Instagram, I think, is similar. Just go to DaveLandau.com. It'll guide you.
Perfect.
It'll guide you where you want to go.
Awesome.
There you go. Yeah, you can follow me on X and Instagram at Real Tate Brown. Doing a lot of shows randomly. So, yeah, follow me on there. I'll let you know.
It's because of that sickness that's been going around. That's
For
why.
whatever reason, I'm just immune. I think I have antibodies or I got the J&J vaccine. Maybe that's what it is.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's good. It's a heart stopper.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Elaad.
No, you're just next up, Tate. That's what it is. I just realized all you guys are wearing hats, by the way. Elaad Eliyahu, White House correspondent. Recently, I've also been doing a lot of coverage outside of New York City immigration courts, witnessing ICE detain illegal aliens, which has been very dramatic, thrilling work. All of that is on my Twitter and Instagram. Thank you guys for tuning in.
I am Phil That Remains on Twix, and the band is All That Remains. You can find us on YouTube, Apple Music, Amazon Music, Pandora, Spotify, and Deezer. If you are a Rumble member, stick around for the after show. If not, you should become a member. Everyone else, we will see you tomorrow.